What's up? What's up? It's the Art the Most Experience with Deke. I'm Art the Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Come on, man. I feel great, baby. We 3-0. Undefeated. Undefeated. I'm feeling great, man. Come on, baby. And the regular season is 13 days away. We're going to get a chance to see the initial 53-man roster this time tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Tuesday, 4 p.m., man. So we can get that information as well. We'll obviously be able to react to that more in depth on Wednesday and stuff. But yeah, man. And then on top of that, college football is officially in the swing. We had week 0.
3 days away.
Backyard brawl this Thursday. I get to go to JMU, call my first game on ESPN Plus this weekend, man. I'm crunk. This is the week of all weeks. It's crazy busy, but it's a dope week, man. So I'm feeling on cloud 9, man. How you living?
I'm doing great. Just don't do what that announcer did in that, I think it was the Cardinals-Bengals game. I don't know if you heard that. When the guy was kicking the extra point for like 10 seconds. You never seen it on YouTube?
I did not know.
You got to look it up. Actually, maybe do that. It could catapult your career.
Yeah, is that right?
Because you could go viral, maybe.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
Well, they say no publicity is bad publicity, right? Yeah, that's what they say, man.
Dude, how about some intel, though? So I'm out after the game yesterday, out at the bars. I don't know if this is confirmed or not. I'm just going to run with it, though. Mm-hmm. Last time Steelers went undefeated in the preseason, we won our first Super Bowl in 1974.
There it is there, man.
Have you heard that?
I have not, but it sounds good to me, man.
The preseasons back then, 6 games.
Okay.
We went 6-0.
Yeah, I do remember this in the 70s. They did say that they actually played all their starters in the 4th preseason game, the full game. It was never this, like, one series here, one quarter there. I know when I talked to whether it's JT Thompson, so I got a chance to interview this weekend at Acashore, Craig Wolfley, all of the like guys that played under like a Chuck Noll time frame, they all said that. Yeah, it was legit. Like preseason games mattered in terms of how they approached them, where it's like very different today. But either way, I like the statistic. It works for us, man.
Yeah. Correct me in the chat.
It works for us, man.
I heard it yesterday at the bar and just ran with it. I got excited.
For sure. And I definitely like that then, man.
Speaking of Acashore Stadium, though, you were down there, right?
Yes, it was hot as heck, bro.
Well, there was that.
It was pretty dang really hot yesterday, bro. Holy cow.
But they tried doing the Heinz Red Zone.
They did call it that, yeah.
It was a big L.
They definitely called it that. It was like, now
it was
we're
a big
in the
L.
Heinz Red Zone. And it felt so awkward.
No ketchup bottles.
It felt so awkward when they said it.
Scoreboard looks naked.
Yeah. But just the fact they called it the Heinz Red Zone, it made me uncomfortable being like, yo, I'm trying to get comfortable saying Acashore Stadium, and now you wanna be the old thing coming back in my life. I don't need that. You the X for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do you want to keep going back to your X, or you want to move forward with the new thing? This paying 10 a year.
No, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Heinz Red Zone, you got to bring back the ketchup bottles, though.
If you're Acashore, you cannot allow them ketchup bottles back in that stadium, man.
Why not? The Acashore center of the scoreboard, center top.
Can't do it, man.
It's got its own respect.
How many?
I don't think the ketchup bottles would take away from it.
How many times since the name has been changed, when people say Acashore, they say, no, I'm calling it Heinz. That you put the ketchup bottles in there, you just adding to that. That's all. If I'm Acashore, that's how I'm looking at this thing, man. Fair. I'm like, I gave y'all when everybody was bashing us about not being a local company, and they're like, no, we actually have thousands of employees locally. They're like, we ain't saying anything. We let it ride. To me, I'm just like, man, you can't let that part go. You can't put them ketchup bottles back in that thing, man.
It didn't look as good during the day. I didn't go to the Seahawks one. That was the first home preseason game. It looked a lot cleaner on TV, at least, the whole Acashore on the scoreboard. I didn't think it looked as nice during the day.
Yeah, I was trying not to have a heat stroke out there during the day, so, yeah. But it was worth it because the guys got the dub. It was plenty of stuff that we're gonna break down and dissect, and we're excited about that as well. But with that being said, man, let's start this thing how we always started, right? Let us know where you are tuning in from in the chat, and we will give you those big boy shoutouts to start today's show. But definitely excited about this one, man.
Oh yeah, Eddie B, the 757.
Carib.
Extra Black, Los Angeles in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Hernandez checking in from Portland, Oregon, the 503.
Let's go.
Jar Devil, 310, San Pedro, California.
I like it.
Big Keys.
Keys? Yeah. 330, all right? Okay, yeah. I was like, what does that say?
330, Youngstown, Ohio, baby. What's going on with you big dogs? Moats and Deke.
Let's get
What's good, Steelers fam?
Man, so he's from Youngstown as well. Isn't that
Rod Dollars?
Yeah, share line. Yeah, let's go.
And there he is right there, 330, Youngstown, Ohio, share line from Rod Dollars.
Okay.
Freddie G, 817 Fort Worth, Texas.
Let me get one. Let me hop in here real quick, man. Let me hop in. Got my man Samurai Finn spinning the block. Shout out to you. Was in the tennis last night, man. Big time salute. The 253 McCord Air Force Base in Washington. Hey, man, appreciate your service as well, man. Joe from the 717. We got Todd Sikowski. You know he tuning in from Tucson, Arizona, the 520. And then we got Q, the 610, Allentown, PA. And he is currently at work. Hopefully you're not working too hard, my brother. And we can't forget about Steelers Girl 517. Always tuning in from Lansing, Michigan. Always appreciate her spending some time with us, man, without a doubt. And Shoot the Rock. Just finished his class in the 563 Dubois, Iowa.
Carlos Smith, the 330, Akron, Ohio. And then we got Scott Marshall.
Let's go.
Brentwood, Tennessee.
Let's go.
And I'll say 2 more.
Let's go.
The Cookie Monster.
Hey, now.
610. He's saying mics are super low today.
All right, let's hit the audio. Then
Are we good?
Yeah, we get a little audio, man. Yeah, what I've realized through our experiences with this, sometimes it's them, and sometimes it's us.
Mic check. Mic check. How about now? Mic check. I think we're good.
Yeah.
One more. Rob White. A lot of 330 today.
I'm seeing
What's
that.
up from 330 Akron? So I guess 330 is both Akron and Youngstown.
But you know what? I'm digging the Ohio love, though, because, today we are going to be talking a little bit about, some Ohio connections that we have with this show, man. We'll get to that in a little bit, though. But yeah, man, salute the Ohioans, though. We like that.
One more. Roscoe Smokes.
I like when you say one more.
Haven't said his name in a while. I got to give him a shout out. 702 West Palm Beach.
All right, I got one more, too. I got Tate and Amy Lancaster tuning in from Mississippi, the 662. All right, is that it? We going one more?
I'm done.
You sure? I'm going
to
with
super chats.
All right. But I do got one more, though.
Okay.
Can I get one more?
Yeah.
All right, I ain't got no more. All right, I do got one more. Stephen Hibbins, this 978 South Boston. Your cousin from Boston. All right.
Sam Adams.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Kyle Monier, first super chat. We all want to see Kenny be the guy, but why rush him when our O-line clearly needs work? I believe Mitch could lead us to a Super Bowl this year. Kenny will be ready, but we all need to support Mitch. Hashtag #MMondays.
Well, I mean, we went undefeated in the preseason. History shows that the last time we went undefeated in the preseason, we won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it doesn't matter who we put at quarterback. We're going to win the Super Bowl this year, man. I'm with that.
I think he's right. We got to support Mitch.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He's
going to take us to the promised land this year.
Someone will. We're going to be fine with whatever quarterback it is.
Man.
I've been saying that. I stand by it.
There it is.
I'm good with Mitch. Okay. I would have liked it to be Kenny.
Fair.
I still wouldn't mind it to be Kenny, but I don't want that to be to the detriment of our team, though. I don't want Kenny in if that means we're sucking. So let's go Mitch.
Shout out. All right. We roll with it.
Maybe it could be a vibe where we're winning.
Are you
defense is balling out, but we're like,
bro, what's going on with
but
you,
we're
man?
like, hey, we could use a little bit more from the quarterback position. Week 3, week 4, then we put Kenny in, and then Kenny goes like 12-2 or something like that.
Is everything all right?
Everything's good.
You sure?
I'm in a good place.
I see. It's just, I'm just a little shocked. That's it, man. But I like that though, bro. I like that.
Mitch has done nothing to deserve hate.
I would agree with that,
even though
it is very difficult at times to not, give him said hate that he keeps receiving at times.
Mitch?
Yeah, man.
You talk about Mason.
I talk about all of them. You know why I talk about Mitch? No, are you ready?
Wait, where's the Mitch hate going?
Are you serious? No.
Is there big time Mitch hate?
No.
I just feel like people like Kenny more, but you're saying people are negative on Mitch?
Think about this. Are you ready for this?
I want to hear this.
So, I guarantee at some point in time on today's show, people continue to say that Mitch has not played well. He has not outplayed Kenny, that Kenny is close to him. That to me is hate towards Mitch.
I agree.
People will knock on Mitch solely for the fact of praising Kenny. That is how it works. First it was Mason, then when they realized, okay, Mason's kind of out of this conversation, then it shifted to Mitch. You talk about that Jags game. Hey, man, bro, Mitch ain't nice. Like, they need to get him out. You saw what that looked like them first 2 series. Look at what Kenny did. Put him in there. We broke down the context, right? Once again yesterday. Oh, man, but Mitch thinking it up, man. It ain't terrible, but I don't think he did anything all this much better. And it's like, bro, I don't agree with those sentiments, but that is the hate that Mitch gets. It's not in the sense of booing him like we see with Mason, but it is definitely in that sense where everything that he does is not good enough, even when the context is the exact same at times for Kenny, or the odds are stacked a little bit more against Mitch and he comes out there and passes with flying colors. It still has this like backhanded compliment every time it's portraying to him. Yeah.
I think Mitch played fine. I think he's played fine all preseason, actually.
But you see, that's the difference, right? So how would you break down what Kenny has done this preseason?
He's played fine as well. If I got a leaning.
So now you see, that's the funny part. You say it right there in the moment, but the previous 2 weeks we've come in here, you have not said that Kenny has played fine. You've spoken very glowingly of him.
I think they both played really good.
But that's the difference. Like when it comes to Kenny, people are more freely praising him, whereas when it comes to Mitch, it's all right. All right, if he has to be the week 1 starter, it's like you're forcing yourself to get behind it versus just appreciating what he has done. And the same goes to Kenny and Mason. That's the thing that I'm talking about when I speak specifically about the hate that Mitch receives. He's never getting this, the support without some type of reservation. And that's the difference.
I think the other part of it, though, too, was the preseason was not complete. So we're just seeing Pickett continue to grow, get better and better by the games. But also and it's like, dude, I think he can deserve these QB1 reps. I mean, Mitch hasn't done anything to where we shouldn't give Pickett those QB1 reps. I thought.
To me, Kenny didn't do something where I thought that he has done so much in these opportunities where it's like, Mitch, you done lost this opportunity. I don't think it was like that. I do feel, though.
I think Pickett needed like 2 or 3 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah.
He didn't get it.
Yeah. But you think about, like, it took it coming to that just for it to be, okay, if we have to start Mitch week 1. But it's like, man, what has Mitch been doing throughout OTAs, throughout minicamp, throughout training camp, throughout all these preseason games? It's like, do we forget that solely because we just are so supportive of this player? And it's right to be supportive of Kenny, but my biggest issue is like when the support for him is so great that you're trying to knock other players, not speaking on you specifically, but that is how it kind of became with this competition where it's like, man, if this is the guy we're rooting for, we're going to knock on these other 2 dudes. When it's like all 3 of these dudes have shown that they're more than capable of winning us games this year. I thought all 3 of these dudes at multiple times throughout this preseason have showed that they're definitely capable of helping us out. Now, to what degree, that's different. To what comfort level we have, I think that's different. And just the overall probability of their levels of success and how we would gauge it, I think, are very different. But at the same time, it's like, could you find a path to win with each of these guys? 100% you could.
Yeah. No, I think whatever phrasing you want to use, fine. They've both played good, really good, great to an extent. Yeah. I think, Mason just really didn't get the opportunities like that, especially this last
third
game.
Yeah.
Kenny and Mitch, I thought they were toe-and-toe. But Mitch had the lead going in, and he did nothing to lose it from my perspective.
Yeah. And I think for me, the difference is I agree with the ending part where you said he had the lead going and he did nothing to lose. That I also would say when we talk context, every time we're talking about these games for Kenny versus Mitch and we're breaking down reasons why, I think the context is very different as it pertains to Mitch and what he's been dealing with versus the times where we've seen Kenny. Kenny's first game, we talked about that. We talked about a little, and
here's what I'll say,
he can't control who he's going out there with, and he's supposed to make plays and all those things, etc. All I'm saying is we saw Mitch have success with a tougher unit, with an offensive line that has been inconsistent, but at the same time,
it's like better yesterday.
Towards the second quarter and on, yes, they did. Early on, they struggled though. And who was out there early on? Mitch. But when did they play well? The same reason we saw Kenny play well in game 2. Tempo. So the context is there. We see it. And it's like, man, okay, you give him the exact same thing. What did it look like? Mitch can stretch the field. Mitch can scramble. Mitch has leadership. Mitch has toughness. It's all these things we're talking about.
Yeah, Mitch is fine.
Yeah.
The thing with Pickett in yesterday's game, though, it may have been dealt the harder hand, though.
Okay.
You could talk about the first 2 preseason games, like who had the tougher hand or whatnot. Now, second one, I get what you're talking about. First one, what was that? Pickett going with the third stringers going up against the third string defense. Mitch only getting those 2 series. So I guess that one might be tough to equate. But with Kenny, I mean, he had the whole second string offensive line. And I thought they looked worse whenever Pickett was in compared to the first team with Mitch.
See, that's the part I didn't agree
The problem with Mitch, though, was the penalties because there were some really bad
and if
drive
they weren't
stalling
taking
penalties.
those penalties, those were sacks. That was the other part, too.
On the actual times where they were to snap the ball, play, I just thought the offensive line was better than what it was last, especially in pass protection. Running game, that could be arguable because I still think there were some tough holes. But Najee said he didn't even have the vision that he would have hoped in some of them. He's like, there was one player too.
Yeah, first game back.
Yeah, I was disappointed that he was playing in the second quarter. Same with TJ and Dion. Like, why are these dudes playing?
No, but dude, I was surprised. Did you I don't know if you've heard about what was going on with Najee's foot. That whole information just came out too, where it was like, oh, you stepped on.
Well, he's good now?
He's good.
Are you talking about way earlier in training camp?
Yeah, in training camp and stuff like that. He said he's good now, but he said he has a sprained Liz Frank. I was like, geez, that's a little bit different than the whole you got stepped on concept, you know? But I am glad to hear that it's not something that is going to linger on, hopefully. But I think that definitely gave me a little bit more context of, man, I really don't want him out there for the preseason if I knew that that's what he was dealing with when he was missing that amount of time.
Yeah, but also back to the Pickett versus Trubisky thing, who had maybe the tougher hand yesterday. Yeah. Pickett also had the second-string receivers out there, and he threw some dots, man.
No, he definitely did.
Holy hell. But there were some drops that were kind of disappointing, and they stalled out the drives. Boswell missed a field goal. So
Nah, the block, that wasn't on Boz.
The block, yeah.
That definitely wasn't on Boz, baby. Nah.
You're right. I should have said Boswell missed the field goal, but, like, in most scenarios, just that field goal should be made, right? You're expecting that. So, I don't know. Yesterday, Pickett maybe a little bit tougher hand.
Well, see, I think this is where we differ. Like, when I went back and watched the tape again, bro, I thought the offensive line played a lot better in that second half. I thought Kendrick Green was one of the dudes that I was really impressed
Wasn't terrible.
with. Absolutely. Whereas when we talk about that first unit, I get how it ended, and people want to applaud it because the 2-minute drill. But once again, that 2-minute drill is the exact same thing we saw in Jacksonville. When you use cadence, when you use tempo, like that helps you. Now, I expect them to use more of that now that the regular season is here, because this offensive line, when they were not using cadence, when they were not using tempo, all 5 of them starters was getting beat at times. Chooks, James Daniels, Mason Cole, Kevin Dotson, Dan Moore. Consistently the first 2 series. Even going into that 3rd series. And it's like, all right, we're getting. And I would see the adjustments Matt Canada would make. He would start doing misdirection, right? Give you Gunnar Olszewski going to lateral stuff. Or he's going to throw the quick shot downfield to Deontay. That type of stuff to combat it. But to me...
Unreal throw.
That's a dot to me, right?
Like, unreal throw.
That was a dot. But, you know, when I look at that, obviously what he did in that 2-minute drill, I'm like, man, the Pickens, the Pat, like, yeah... What we talk about here? I mean, back shoulder over the top, zipping it, taking chances. Like, to me,
Pickens dropped one too.
Yeah, he did.
That was a good pass. But then Mitch had one where I thought it could have been a touchdown, that slant across the middle.
Which one? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, he threw it behind Pickens.
Oh,
it was good coverage by Akuda. So, like, I don't even know if it was a good throw.
No.
If it would have been a catch.
Akuda had the PBU in the end zone?
Yeah, the slant across the middle.
Yeah.
He threw it back. Like, he needed to throw more out.
To me, I was looking at it like, go get that ball.
It was good coverage.
To me, I thought he should be more aggressive going to get it. That's how I looked at it. I thought he kind of waited on it to come to him instead of actually, like, going and attacking that thing. And that's how Akuda had that chance to come make the play on it.
But ultimately, Mitch only had, 3-4 incompletions.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty sharp.
Yeah, man. But either way, man, like I said, they all did positive things, and that's the thing, man. It's like
not Mason, 0-for-3.
Man, you crazy, man. Like when
not his fault. He didn't get any time. He didn't get a real opportunity.
You tried to be funny, and I get it. When we say they all 3 did well because you focusing solely on those couple of plays, but it's like, bro, I'm talking
the whole preseason.
I'm talking the whole preseason.
Sure.
That's what I'm speaking
Mason
on.
Was fine.
He didn't play this game. Like, let's be real, he didn't play.
I know.
So how we gonna judge him when he did not play in this game? Like,
over.
That's what I'm saying. He's not playing. He ain't playing that. We know, but we knew going into this game based on what Coach Tomlin said, based on the reps and things like that, where he was at on that depth chart.
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised. Mitch played the whole first half. I thought the whole quarterback competition open talk was legit. Obviously, it wasn't. It was a facade.
Maybe it was open, but he saw more than what he needed to see. You know, he felt very confident in it.
All I would have liked to see is Pickett with the ones.
Yeah.
With Najee out there, with that line, Pickens, Deontay. Well, Claypool wasn't out there, but you get my point.
Yeah. I just think it's one of those things when it comes to Kenny, right or wrong, it doesn't matter if he does good when he goes out there or not. People are going to want him out there. And I think that that's what Coach Tomlin understands and why he is operating the way that he's operating. Because I think, man, you could put Kenny out there yesterday. He could have stunk it up. You could put him out there week 1. He could stink it up. No one's going to be saying pull him up out of there. If Mitch goes out there and has a bad series, a bad quarter, people are going to be saying yank him up out of there. That's the reality of it. So when we're talking about any of these quarterbacks not named Kenny Pickett,
I think I was saying
they're
after
forever going to have the uphill battle. They're going to forever have that uphill battle.
Put Kenny Pickett in this damn game, I tweeted out.
Yeah. So when we talk about that, it's like, how could you expect people to legitimately give these other guys chances when that's the biasness going in before the game even happens? Like, that's what these guys are dealing with. So to me, I'm like, it's not close. But when that's the mental perception surrounding those players, in particular Kenny Pickett, it's like, It's nothing y'all gonna be able to do. You could go out there and win the Super Bowl, throw for 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and they're gonna say Kenny would have did 6,060. Mitch could go out there and lead us to the postseason, get us a playoff with it. Kenny would have had us a Super Bowl. Mitch could be a Pro Bowl this year. Kenny would have been All Pro. Mitch could be All Pro. Kenny would have been MVP. Like that's what he is gonna have to face whenever he goes out there this year. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And that's the part for me where I'm just like, y'all make it so hard at times to support these guys because it's just like the blindness and just the arrogance that comes with the support. It's just like, man, this is not how it works at this level, baby. But
I don't know, dude. Pickett played good. I don't know what we like in terms of it being. Man. Yeah. Wait, like the stats are almost very eerily similar for the preseason.
And like I said, man, people can read the stats. That's fine.
And
I already told you. I just took the tape on. That's where I go with. I don't deep dive. You could stat it.
I'm with you on that, but I mean, some of those throws Pickett was making.
And
I mean,
would
you
agree
put him
with
the
you
ones.
On that. Well,
are we not getting at least 16 points? I mean, it's a hypothetical, but still,
he'll get an opportunity.
Pickett looks composed. I just don't think the moment's too big for him. I think you could have put him out there with the ones, and we would have just been fine. Well, and I feel the same way week one.
Man.
But if, like I said, it goes back to the beginning of if Mitch was coming in with the lead, and rightfully so, being the veteran, he did nothing to lose it. He did nothing to lose it, and I thought he played pretty good.
Yeah.
So this is who we're rolling with, and I'm going to support him. I am. I'm supporting him.
We'll see.
I'm supporting
You said 3 series you was tweeting all caps, right?
I just wanted to see Pickett in the game, dude. I wanted to see Pickett in the game. This is preseason. I wanted to see Pickett in the game with the ones.
So question.
We're talking about a quarterback competition. So question this would make it fair.
You're supporting Mitch, right? You're supporting him as QB1 of the team, right?
I'm supporting him.
So when Ben was playing last year and he was having some of his struggles, did you ever say that No, I'm just asking. Right, did you ever in any game last year tweet out that he should be pulled at any point in time?
I did not.
Okay. And that's you supporting the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
That's supporting the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, my.
Has
Are
won
you finished?
The City 2 championships.
We're talking about that season, correct? Are we talking about that season or are we talking about a Lifetime Achievement Award?
No, I'm talking about who deserved benefit of the doubt.
Are we talking about the season?
I'd say Ben deserves a bigger benefit of the doubt than Mr. Trubisky.
Okay, so you don't want to answer. That's fine, man. Cool. That's what I was looking for.
I won't answer. No. I'm just being straight up with you.
Let's go, man. We got supers anyways, man. I ain't tripping.
Okay, but wait, hold on. What are you trying to ask?
Nothing.
If
Mitch
man. Does what? Am I gonna be calling for Kenny? Yeah,
I'm gonna be
a little bit. I'm gonna be a little bit more lax on how I think the quarterback situation should go.
That's cool, baby.
Versus whenever Ben's at the helm, because I think Ben's deserved the benefit of the doubt.
That's cool.
And I'd say making the playoffs, getting those game-winning drives, proved it even last year.
Hey, that's cool, baby. I ain't gonna fight it, man. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got official momentum. Happy Monday. Goats.
Let's go.
Proud of y'all. Salute.
Man, salute you as well, baby. Let's get it.
We got Kyle Monier. Jaylen Warren looking like James Conner out there.
Is that the crying? Why he crying though? What's the crying emoji? Am I missing something?
Maybe it's because they just both wore 30.
Yeah. I don't think of it as like a negative though.
I don't either because I think Jaylen Warren, again, played well.
Heck yeah. I love his explosiveness. I love the blitz pickup. He still continues to make plays. Am I
Truck
missing
the
something
dude
here?
going to the sideline.
You saw that?
Yep.
Am I missing something here?
No. I think he's
come on,
saying it in a good way.
Maybe they're tears of joy. It just looked like the sad face. That's all.
Because Jaylen Warren isn't getting hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the negative way of looking at James Conner. It's really, I mean, when James Conner was on the field and healthy, he was pretty productive.
I mean, wait, he didn't get he got a Pro Bowl here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a Pro Bowl here and a Pro Bowl in AZ now. What we talking about, baby?
Fish momentum. Salute to the Steelers family. Prayers to all.
I like it. Hey, man, salute you as well, man. Each and every one of y'all. We greatly appreciate y'all as always, baby.
Fish momentum. Y'all check the Ambition videos and music. # email inbox.
Have you?
I have not yet.
I have not. It's a busy week for me. I'm not even on email duties this week, man. I got a lot this week, man.
I'll try to get to him before 2022 ends, I think.
Bro,
that's one of my goals.
Before 2022 ends?
Yeah. I think that could be one of my goals.
Yeah, man. When the season get here, man, it's every day is something right here, man. So, yeah, I have not checked it just yet. I'm just throwing that out there.
Fish momentum. Oh, yeah. Fake news about Joe Hayden's return.
Oh, what happened with that?
Okay. Let me try to recall what I saw out there.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Who out here making rumors?
Mm-hmm. I need to look it up.
Who's out here with the anonymous sources?
I can't remember it off the top of my head right now.
Who has these anonymouses? Huh?
Let me find it. I'll read the next one.
Did it come to you in a dream? Did it come to the person in a dream?
No,
That's what we need to know.
Joe Hayden actually responded to it too.
Oh yeah, okay.
So there's a legit back and forth.
Okay.
Let me find it. Let me read some more of these super chats.
For sure. Dang, that's dope though. I mean, I ain't know it's something that got a little bit of legs on this thing. All right.
Cal Monier, prayers to Casey. Hope he has a speedy recovery.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what a bummer.
Dude, they said. I'm trying to think, man, because I know Coach Simon said that
he
one is probably gonna be serious.
Early on,
yeah,
too.
He was.
It looked like he was carving out a little role.
He was. They were using they were having him out there, and at times they were using the 3 safety look that we talked about, man, with him, Minka, and Edmonds, man. Yeah, it's one of them things, and it looked fluky at the time too. Like just seeing him diving through and land, I'm like, come on, but
yeah, it looked like the dude's ankle or his shin or something
like
hit
it.
Wrist.
Yeah, and anytime when they start talking like, all right, it's gonna be a bit longer and stuff like that, I start thinking if it was a dislocation. If it's one of those things where you can't just put it back into place, then you do got to have the surgery, and that does last a little bit longer, and that could potentially be what he's dealing with. But
how long do you think?
Well, from my experiences with the people that I know that did experience wrist injuries where they needed to have surgeries from the dislocation and stuff like that, it was probably like 6. But they were also linebackers.
6 weeks?
Yeah, but they were linebackers as well, though. So it's like it wasn't season ending, but they definitely it was something they dealt with even when they came back. There's a little bit of play and brace it up and stuff like that. But I just think for Casey, it would be a little bit more he would have an easier time coming back because he's not in a position where every play he's having to, you know what I mean?
So maybe we just get him on like a 6-week IR.
Yeah, like that type of situation. Yeah, because when you think about
we got 2 weeks till week 1, that gives him some extra time then.
Yeah. So it's like, man, because if you got him playing, and it's kind of like with Minka. We talked about Minka's wrist injury. We're like, man, he's not in a position where he has to punch every single play. He's going to have times where he has to use it, and that's where you want to give him that time to properly heal. But as a DB, he's not, and especially at safety for Casey, he's not where he's every play taking on a big body dude, putting that stress on that wrist. So he'll be good. Hopefully he'll be good.
All right, the Joe Hayden news.
All right, let's hear it.
Joe Hayden was reportedly contacted by the Steelers to come back, but reportedly Joe Hayden said no. Joe Hayden responds to report.
Mm-hmm.
Fake news.
That sound about right.
They got at Drew Rosenhaus's number.
Uh-huh.
Exclamation marks.
Exactly.
Joe Hayden wants to come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about this. Joe obviously enjoyed his time here in Pittsburgh. He loves his time here in Pittsburgh. That's why he was able to re-sign the times that he did. I just think, man, it's one of them things where kind of like what we talked about in terms of why we didn't bring him back even when free agency first opened up. It was like, we're trying to see what Akello can grow into. We're bringing in a Levi Wallace, a Cam Sutton, seeing what they can grow into. You can't allow those guys that opportunity when you got a Joe Hayden because Joe is going to be out there. Joe is good enough where he's still going to demand, or not demand, but he's going to command a certain amount of snaps just because of his ability, his productivity and stuff like that. And then obviously here in Pittsburgh, he does have a little bit of that that positive emotional equity built up as well because he's made plays. So with this, man, I don't know. If they bring him back, it's going to be cheap. Like, I just don't see why they would do it right now, though, per
Only
se.
injury,
Yeah.
I would think.
And I'm trying to think, we didn't have any corners go down. It was just KZ, TJ, and Deontay, yeah. So I was like, I don't think you need to do anything right now, yeah, with him. I mean, you keep his number ready, and of course they got the number ready, and Joe's still training. Joe's ready to go. But yeah, that's kind of how I would look at it with that.
TJ, Deontay injuries, they said they'd be back the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, TJ's got cut. That was it. Cut block. Yeah.
I just don't know why he was in the game.
Well,
I couldn't believe it. I think he actually sat a series out, and then he came back in. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Sit his ass down.
I was a little frustrated with it, but at the same time, like, rewatching them on tape, I see why. It's like him, Cam, even Najee. You heard Najee talk about it like, I'm trying to get my vision where I needed to be. They all just getting in game mode. Like, they're still making plays.
Yeah, Najee looked good, too.
Yeah, they're still making
whatever
plays.
Foot injury you might still be dealing with.
Yeah, but it's one of them things, it's like, as a player, man, you need reps. And for some of them dudes, they're like, at least let me get something here because the next time I go out here, it's going to count. We're not going to get a chance to be like, hey, coach, I'm tired. Hey, coach, man, I was a little rusty with my hands. Hey, coach, I've been trying to catch back up to speed. It's like, nah, it's go time. We see them week 1. We want them to play at a certain level because it counts. So that's the part where it's like, man, watching them do is I could understand why they were out there. But I'm with you, man. When I saw TJ getting up slow, I'm just like, bro.
What are we doing? Can we just get into week 1 healthy?
Man.
We had to deal with a bunch of this bullshit last year with groin injuries and TJ sitting out, and then he like comes back, and then was he a groin too?
Yeah, he'd have a groin.
He had like a
groin,
hamstring though too, didn't he?
Yeah.
I can't remember. There was just so much like weird stuff popping up before week 1.
And honestly, the thing that's funny though, in contrast between last year and this year, last year all of his injuries were soft tissue. So to me, it was never anything where I'm like, oh man, that's a bad play by him, or that's something that he kind of overlooked. Yesterday, I love T. That's my dude, but it was just kind of laziness, bro. Like the problem is he did what a lot of us do in the preseason. In the preseason, it's like that unspoken agreement between linebackers and tight ends. If you're out there with the ones, you're not cutting me, and I'm not going to try to take you out either. We're going to have that nice gentleman's agreement of, I'm going to give you what I'm supposed to give you, and give what you're supposed to give me, but we stand up because the preseason. I think it was Hawkinson on that play.
It was.
He just went low. And you saw as soon as it happened with Hawkinson, he turned around and was like, yo, that's on me. Because you in the preseason, you don't do that, bro. Like, it's the preseason. It was nothing illegal about it. It's just one of those, like, unspoken things that a lot of us in the NFL that have been doing this thing for a while, we all understand that part of it. And I just think for TJ, he kind of assumed that was the that was going to be it. So you see him staying super high, not worried about it. And then, pop. So, yeah, it happens, man.
It was like that Thibodeau play.
Absolutely. It looked just like that. But Thibodeau's a young guy. So it's like, okay, you expect that. All right, man, it happens. But it's like with TJ, like, bro, you worth a little too much. You can't be playing with some of these young dudes like that, man. If y'all haven't got that agreement ahead of time, and just go and knock him out. Knock him out next time, bro. Yeah.
Fish momentum. Pitt versus WVU. Hashtag here we go.
Hey. It's almost time, baby. I see you with the Pitt hat on too, man. You repping.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lulu. What's up, guys? Usually listen on Spotify. First time on the live. Hope y'all are having a blessed day. Hashtag here we go.
Hey, salute you, Lulu Lil, man. We always having a blessed day, man. We love to have fun over here, man. And glad for you to actually catch a live as well, man. And shout out to the audio only crowd, whether it's Spotify, was it Apple Podcasts, all the other podcast spots out there, man. We appreciate y'all as well, man.
Come on, yeah. Omar needs to hit up.
Did you thumb up the audio crowd, man?
Yeah. Thumbs up. Thank
Deke
you.
was giving y'all love, audio only crowd. All right.
Omar needs to hit up Joe Hayden for real. Hashtag 1-year deal.
How would you feel about that?
And I'd like to see what Witherspoon, Wallace, and Cam Sutton can do. I kind of have the same opinion. Unless one of them gets hurt, bring in Joe Hayden.
I'm with you. And I'm liking some of the stuff they're doing. I'm still partial to believing that TA is just keeping it a lot more vanilla because it's been the preseason, because we're doing a lot more of the cover 3 concepts, which is why we're having some of those like softer feeling zones. We don't really like to do that here, but I'm just hoping that that's more preseason related, because they were doing some stuff. That interception by Cam Sutton, some of the window dressing.
What the hell was that Lions quarterback doing?
No, so check.
They're right though.
No, so this is what it was though. The Lions quarterback was right in the read. It was just a heck of a play by Cam Sutton. So they're in cover 1. They showed a 2-high shell. So you got Edmonds showing on one side, Minka showing high on the other side. So it's the appearance of 2-man, or whether it's cover 4, cover 6, cover 2, like some type of split safety coverage. So the concept, you're trying to have that vertical and you're running that dig afterwards. Cam was supposed to be running with the vertical. Cam, though, smart player here, understands that, hey, we're playing cover 1, but I got Minka as my rover in the middle of the field. So he's playing big vision because he's not worried about anything breaking across because he has Minka there. So as his guy goes vertical, he's supposed to be running, but the quarterback is anticipating Cam wheeling up and hitting that dig behind him. And Cam just drops his coverage and just stays there and catches it. Cam was not supposed to be there at all. So when I saw him throwing it, it's like, man, he's trying to go because that is coming, but Cam was supposed to be gone. Cam just made a heck of a play, like the read on it, man.
So where was Minka at?
Minka was on the back. If the dude would have waited,
would he have been open downfield for the vertical?
So this would have been. So if say that quarterback pumps that in breaking route and Cam Sutton sits there, the throw would have hit the dude. He was running like a vertical like 7 route because you had Edmonds as the middle field safety. So he was gonna bend it away from where Edmonds was. So if he doesn't hit that dig, he's gonna throw it probably outside shoulder to that receiver going on 30-yard route. So it's one of them things you're taking a chance. And that's why I was like, it's a heck of a play by Cam Sutton, because if Cam is wrong, that's a big play. And if Edmonds is late, that's probably a touchdown. And that's the thing.
And Edmonds is getting torched on Twitter.
So that's the dynamic where I'm looking at that play and I'm like, that's a heck of a play by Cam Sutton. But man, you got some big balls for that one right there, baby. Because if you're wrong, if you're late, That's a touchdown, bro. But he read the heck out of it, and the whole time he's dropping. I'm like, why is he opening up like that? But it's because he knows Minka's coming backside. So if there's anything happening right now, he has help there. He's just worried about this vertical, but he starts holding it off because he feels, okay, his quarterback's looking. Now I'm reading this route. If this is coming here, it's got to be something coming back across, and he just played the heck out of it. Sure. But that's why I'm like, at first, when I first saw it, I thought the same. I'm like, oh, man, why the heck he throw that ball there? Man, I replayed that play. I'm like, hold on, bro. I started looking. I'm like, first, I was trying to figure out what the defense was because the disguise was just crazy. I'm like, yo, is this cover 3? What is this? And then I'm like, yo, this is cover 1. Cam Sutton just said, F the call. I'm going to make a play. Yeah.
T.A., Brian Flores, Thelma, they're cooking.
Hey, heck of a play by Cam. When I saw it, I was like, holy smokes, bruh. Like, the window dressing, if they're doing that type of stuff, man, that's what you call, like, that graduate level football plays, man. Like, I would love Cam Sutton. That's my dude. That's my dude. I didn't think he had that in his wheelhouse in terms of, like, not just processing it, but that fast and knowing to take that chance on it. Because typically, that's not what's in his wheelhouse. Typically, for him, it's like he's going to pre-snap communicate, but he going to stay going vertical. That was different. If he's doing stuff like that, that's a different conversation. That's like the honey badger conversation. That's what he does, that type of stuff. Most of these DBs, they ain't doing that. No, you drop that, like I said, it would have been a 40-yarder, bro. Think about it. You got to be 100% confident in your ability if you're willing to risk that, man. But it worked out.
Yeah. Big turnaround from last week for Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Brent Fox. QQ. Judging from this film, does he just mean question? Judging from film this time last year.
Oh, you're saying quick question.
I guess so.
Yeah,
there you go.
Question.
And what film is out so far? Mm-hmm. Is this O-line worse than last year?
I don't think that the O-line is worse than last year. I just think that they are very inconsistent. I can cut this tape on, and I just don't know if I have enough time this week, but I do want to drop some plays from them where I can show you they had some positive moments. All of these dudes did. But at the same time, it was always you're going to have 2 good plays, 1 bad play. All right, next guy, 3 good plays, 2 bad plays. This guy, 1 good play, 2 bad plays. All right, now this guy, 3 good plays, 1 bad play. This other guy, 4 good plays, 4 bad plays. It was like just back and forth, and they all took turns. I mean, we talked about that popcorn concept before in the sense of, okay, first is this guy, now is this guy, then is this guy. That's the type of stuff that was happening yesterday. Now, some of it was matchup related, but the other parts is like, no, you just got to play better. And I understand the conversations about technique. Because that has come up. Oh, man, well, why is this guy teaching that technique, or why can't he get more out of him? I do think it's a couple of things at play here. Number one, we just talk about this group talent-wise. They are still trying to prove themselves. Dan Moore, he's a 4th-round draft pick. He's trying to prove himself. Kevin Dotson, another 4th-round draft pick. He's trying to prove himself. Kendrick Green, 3rd-round draft pick, trying to prove himself. Mason and James Daniels, this is their first substantial contract, so they're trying to prove that they can be the guys. And then similar concept goes with Chooks, because we felt like Chooks is a good player, but we're asking, hey, if you're getting paid double-digit money, can you be a force multiplier? Can you elevate your group? Because essentially we're saying, hey, you're good enough to account for another guy that we could have been paying, $2 million for. We think you're that good at your position. So when we're talking about all those things, I just think at various points in times, these guys have lived up to that expectation, but then they followed it very quickly by not living up to it. And when you're trying to call plays, how do you know which version of his offensive line is going to show up? You look at Najee yesterday. He had some runs where he had nice holes, right? And then he had some where it looked like last year, getting hit in the backfield, running into a brick wall. That's the inconsistency. We talk about pass protection. You got some plays where it's like, hey, no hurry up offense, but everybody's blocked up. They got time to take a shot. Then you got times where it's like, if this dude doesn't hold him, our quarterback was killed. And then we got the occasional, just pre-snap penalty. I'll still a false start in there. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't be playing inconsistently. Then you having the self-inflicted wounds of holding calls, false start penalties, not having everybody on the line of scrimmage, like that type of stuff, because then it makes that effect feel way worse. But I do think talent-wise, we are in a better position with the group that we have now. I just think that those guys have to be a lot more consistent. And going to the technique element of it, and I talked about this last night on the Space Talk. Technique, absolutely, man. It matters. And being a guy that's played for a ton of different position coaches at the NFL level, I was taught numerous techniques. Some of them I agreed with, some of them I didn't. But the one thing that I will tell you consistently, and this is players and coaches, they all agree. When you're in stadium and it's game time, you do what works for you. Don't come out there and you got burnt because you was trying the technique that we've been talking about. You try your stuff in practice. When it's game day, it's game day. Because at the end of the day, you know what that coach is going to tell you? Say, Deke, I've been teaching you this technique, but you're not comfortable with it. Now you know your technique will work right here. You go out there and make the play. You think I'm gonna bench you? You think I'm gonna yell at you? Hey, Deke, why you don't use that technique? No, you know what I'm gonna say? Heck of a play, Deke. Let's do it. We'll correct it on the tape later. We'll find a common ground later on. But you can't just go out there every time talking about, hey, coach, man, it's the technique you teach me. Because now we're coming into that seeking comfort phase. That's kind of what we did with Devin Bush in a sense, where it was like every time it was a negative performance, it was this, it was that, it was this, it was that, versus the accountability, versus saying, hey, this is where I have to improve. So when I look at this offensive line, I say to myself, man, don't look around and say, oh, it's new offensive line coach. Oh, it's a new scheme. Oh, I'm new to the team. It's like, no. Because those excuses aren't going to matter when we're sitting here a year from now and we're like, hey, man, y'all guys were piss poor. We want to replace all of y'all. At the end of the day, what you want to do is go out there and figure it out what works for you. And I think once we start getting some of that, once we start getting some of that accountability internally with these players, I think they will continue to improve because they're showing that they are capable of it. And I think that's the frustrating part from my perspective. I thought last year it wasn't a lot of moments where we looked and we're like, hey, they're capable of it. It was a lot of those like, man, we just got some bad matchups. I think this year we are capable of playing a lot better, but we just got to be more consistent. And that's the part where it's like, all right, y'all have shown it. Once you put it on tape, man, now I know you're capable of doing it, but now I expect that from you every time. And that's what we're not getting from them. But they're definitely capable of being a way better unit than what they're showing right now.
It's almost like, I like that example you brought up about just go with your technique in game, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Bro, it's almost like now. If you're working on your golf swing.
Come on now.
At the range, you're doing some video tutorials.
Talk about it.
Once you get to the course, if you're in like a little 2v2 match or you're playing for money or you just need to get around the course and have a good time, you got to go with what works.
Yeah.
Save the whole tinkering and all that stuff for the range. Because you're going to put yourself in a bad spot. Yeah. You don't want to be overthinking it when you're on the course. Because that's what's going to happen. You want to just go out there and swing. You don't want to be like, oh, wait, I got to shift my shoulder here, drop my leg, blah, 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 this and that. No, you just want to go out there, swing, try to win, try to hit your best shot in that given moment. So I like that example.
Because it's real. And I'm glad that it applies to all the, like to golf as well, because that's definitely the case in football. You watch a guy and he's overthinking it, you can tell. It's like, bro, why are you playing this slow? Why aren't you being as physical as you can be? You're thinking too much. But it's when guys are trying to take every bit of information, every coach is pointing like, hey, let's put it out there. And it's like, no, man, when it's game day, you just got to play. You got to know what you know. You got to trust what you trust and just go. Prime example, Mark Robinson. Watch him yesterday. The technique wasn't perfect. He had some mess ups. He had some blown times as well. But the one thing when I continue to watch him, that boy ain't worried about any of that overthinking stuff. He is see ball, get ball. He's playing fast. That's what you're supposed to do. And I think with this offensive line, they're capable of that as well. I just wonder, did they hear the noise in the sense of, hey, man, revamp offensive line. Y'all can't be any worse than last year. And now they're out there overthinking like, hey, we got to be better. We got to be better. Versus just going out there and just playing. Let the expectations, man, they're going to always be there. Whether they too high or too low, don't matter. Like, you control your narrative, man. Go out there and just play. And I just feel like for those guys, that could also be in play here because of the criticism that they received throughout all the last year and this offseason.
Yeah, because they're being talked about.
Yeah.
As being the Achilles heel on the offense already.
Absolutely.
What I will say about the line, though, now, despite the penalties and just some of the hiccups that we clearly saw, like the offensive line isn't a complete product just yet.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot better than last week, just in terms of like play on a play-by-play basis. Because last week with Mitch, dude, he took one snap and it's 2 seconds. He's almost about to die. I mean, we saw those scrambles. Like, we didn't have to deal with that at all this game, at all. Like, he at least had a few seconds. If he did have to get the ball quick, he was still clean. He made the right read, got it out, and we were able to move. It was those penalties that killed us, I thought, for the most part. I mean, Dan Moore, still a little bit of a question mark. I mean, he was the one that stuck out, I think, in terms of the whole unit. Yeah. It was like everyone else, I just thought it was fine, especially when you compare it to last week. Yeah. The
rest of the guys, this Dan Moore was probably the least consistent of that starting unit. The other guys, they had their negative plays, but they did have a lot more positive going for them. It was just Dan. I thought Aiden Hutchinson would be the bad matchup. It was Charles Harris. I'm like, bro, like, Charles is a good player, and we've talked about Charles before. Charles is not that caliber player in my eyes. And I think that was the disheartening part when we talk about Dan Moore. Josh Allen last week, Okay, I can get behind it. I'm cool. Travon Walker, okay, I'm cool. It can't be Charles Harris. I just think that that's a different caliber, like a different tier of rusher, a different tier of guy that we're talking about here. And that's the part where I'm like, Dan has to be better there. And this isn't nothing new to him. He knows this. He's looking at that same tape. He knows what he's capable of. He knows what he did last year. But this is also part of the thing when we're talking about last year, when we ask ourselves, okay, we know there were games where we talked about how he was getting beat. It was just how quick we're getting rid of the ball. And part of the whole dynamic was, man, is it Ben not being able to stretch the field, or is it this offensive line that can't protect him, and that's why we got to get rid of it so fast? But that kept the sack numbers down. So part of that is why we felt a lot more confident about Dan Moore coming into this season. But this offense is different this year. We're not trying to just get rid of it, in 2 seconds. We're trying to stretch the field. We're trying to do a little bit more longer developing plays, and it's forcing Dan Moore to have to protect a little bit longer. So I do think part of, the exposure that we're seeing now is because we're asking him to actually have to block longer, for better or worse. But I don't think it's something that you want to revert back to in terms of how the offense looked last year, because I'm enjoying us stretching the field. I'm enjoying seeing Kenny take shots, Mitch take shots, Mason take shots. But it's like, man, we can't do that consistently enough if when we're looking up here at this offensive line, we're like, hey, man, we can't. He ain't got 3 seconds in him. He ain't got 4 seconds in him. Like, that's going to be a little bit of issue there,
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the one that I left the stadium, like, the most disheartened about.
We'll hit the alarm button if this continues into the regular season, I think, early on. But there's not too much out there. I mean, might have to have Peters on speed, though.
Ooh, I was going to go Fisher if he was healthy.
It doesn't matter. I mean, one of those three, I guess.
He said either one, right?
Or trade for someone. I told you. Let's see if there's an 0-3 team.
Yeah, Isaiah Wynn had came up again last night. Obviously, he's one of those dudes, but I don't know if he's the answer. Like, that's my problem. And what I'm going to have to give up to go get him. Like, I don't know if that's the answer for what we got right now, man.
I didn't do my homework. I said I was going to check to see, bottom 5 or 6 projected teams and look at their left tackles to see what could maybe be a good trade.
Yeah.
I didn't do that homework yet. I'll try to be better. I'll try to get you something on Wednesday.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Right from the heart, man.
All right. My chat jumped, so this might be on you. I got the funky C-Hat.
The funky C-Hat. Where the heck you see that at?
It might not be too far down.
Oh, okay. I think I see you. Oh, yeah, it's not too far. All right.
Okay.
So I'll catch up to you. All right, we got Nathaniel Carter, though. He just joined the upper room. Nathaniel Carter, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Simon Varndale also joined the upper room along with Joshua Grimm. Oh, yeah, Joshua Grimm and Simon Varndale. Definitely appreciate you both, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And just a reminder for my upper room people out there, when the regular season hits, which is in 13 days, I think it is, for our opener, when we do those space talks at the end of them, remember, 60 minutes for everybody, but at the end, we will have an exclusive 15 minutes just for my members only and stuff like that, man, to have that exclusive Q&A where y'all can ask questions, because right now it does get pretty crowded in the space talk. It's a good thing, but y'all need y'all moments as well, man. So I just want to throw that out there. All right, next up we got Official Momentum tuning in as always. I think you already hit this one. Ambition Live 9:30.
No, I've not hit it.
Okay, it probably just reoccurs in my brain all the time. But Ambition Live September 30th at Rivers. He's at Rivers. Pull up Moats and Deke. There you go. Deke be pulling up. Deke don't be remembering where he be pulling up to, though. That's his problem. I don't be outside as often. Deke be outside. Deke in them streets. Let's go. We got Reese Zikowski. Says, will KZ be able to return this year? If not, who could replace him? I'm hoping that he should be able to return. With the injury reserve the way that it is, the biggest thing is just the timing of it. So you would have to wait until they do the final roster cuts. Then you can go ahead and do the IR so he can return this season. If you put him on that injury reserve list prior to those cuts, then he will not be able to return to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He could still play in the NFL this season, but it wouldn't be in Pittsburgh. So that's the only tricky part. So roster-wise, it could be a scenario where he's going to make the active roster, but then probably in a day or two, they're going to not cut him, but they'll put him on injured reserve. And then from there, we'll bring somebody else in.
That makes sense.
Just the logistics of it, because if you do it prior to that, then he couldn't come back to us this season.
Yeah, and if you're saying it's potentially only 6 weeks, we could use him.
Yeah, absolutely we could. Heck yeah. I mean, because you got to think, man, essentially, if he's going into surgery at some point in time this week, the sooner you get it done, the more time you have on the front end of this 2-week part, right? Because like I said, 13 days from today, so that's 2 weeks essentially. So if he's having this thing, at any point in time this week, you at least feel like you got a bonus weekend there, so you're not going to miss actually 6 games. Could be like a 5-game, more even a 4-game situation, just based on how quickly he's able to get through that front half of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. So we shall see, man. But in terms of who would replace him,
well, Carl Joseph's
he's hurt. Yeah,
he's out for the year.
Mm-hmm. Still like what I got with Norwood. I like the young boy Isaiah Riley. I thought that he came in and did some positive things yesterday. Steiner obviously is a dude that we had in here before they let him go going into this final preseason game.
It's probably Norwood doing some type of role like that.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, will we bring anybody? Will we sign anybody?
No, we don't need to, because it seemed like this whole new package was just like, something we kind of have, something we could throw out there a little bit to mix it up. I don't think it's like our main defense. And if we need Trey Norwood to play like 20% of the snaps doing that, where we have a 3 safety set out there, he could do it. He showed it last year.
I would definitely agree with that, man. Absolutely. And we got my man Jay Blanche. He says, is Breece Hall and Christian Kirk for Najee a viable fantasy trade? Asking for a friend. Also, get those likes up, guys. It is fantasy season. I got my draft.
Does he have Najee?
It sounds like he does.
If he has Najee, don't trade Najee.
Okay.
Receivers are a dime a dozen.
But he says Breece Hall's in there as well, though.
Not with that Jets offense. I can't trust it.
Okay.
I can't trust it.
You think he's going to be a high volume guy, though?
He could be, but sometimes running backs on bad teams, the volume isn't. Think of Le'Veon Bell with the Jets, actually.
Okay, fair enough.
If they get down, they're not handing the ball off to him that much. You want a dude that's like perfect in the game flow.
I see what you mean.
That's why dudes that are in the Chiefs offense or like Packers offense, any of those running backs, they're like hot commodities whenever they first come on the scene. Now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I guess he never really lived up to the hype like that, but he was the first round pick.
Was tough though, bro.
Yeah, he was the first round pick coming in there. You're thinking like, oh man, he's gonna get all the workload. KC, they're gonna be slinging it out there, and like once you get up, then you start handing it off.
Right.
So that's kind of what you. I just don't trust the Jets offense just yet, especially with Zach Wilson being out early.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you were actually supposed to put that much faith in Zach Wilson to begin with.
Man, they got Joe Flacco. Well, but he's a rock star now, man.
He is a rock star. I get that.
He changed the narrative. That's one of the dudes that you can change the narrative on, man.
I know the Jets have some.
He's QB1, man.
Cool new players on their offense and stuff, but I mean, they've been a shit show for these last 3-4 years, 5 years, maybe even longer than that.
They got Flacco now, man. He elite. You know that.
I don't know about that. I would keep Najee. That's my opinion on it. I don't know about you.
Fair enough. No, I'm going to roll with Najee just because he's a stealer. I would keep him. That's my whole.
Yeah, he's going to get a huge workload. Yeah. Huge workload.
Bro,
especially if it's PPR.
I'm still pissed, too, now that I think about it. My fantasy draft is on Sunday, bro. I'm so hot. It's at 6 in the morning, bro.
Why?
Because my guys, they are in this coaching circuit, so it's the only free time we got. I'm just like, bro, I don't want to be up at 6 in the morning on a Sunday after I got to call this game on a Saturday night, bro. I'm trying to be asleep at 6 in the morning. Is there an auto draft button? How does that thing work, man?
Yeah,
is it safe? Is it safe to work with?
No.
Oh, gosh.
No. Absolutely not.
You see my dilemma. I'm over here like, how can I make this work?
Who are you targeting?
I haven't looked that far just yet because the 6 a.m. just completely blew my vibe. As soon as they said 6, I'm like, huh? Like, oh, no, man, not 6. Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I got to drive back to Pittsburgh later that day. I'm like, oh, I can't even sleep in. Nah, I ain't liking this, bro. That's all.
You could do auto draft. I mean,
it's risky. It's like, is it really risky? Because they say like you could
pick
your
people
and stuff.
Depends on who you ask. If you're going in not knowing much, sometimes the auto draft is better because they'll just take the top player. They would take the best player at that, yeah. And sometimes whenever you got a lot of users in there, everyone's trying to outthink each other and get the sleepers. And sometimes it's just literally the guys that get overlooked. And like Zeke Elliott could be a good example.
Oh yeah, because
like he's not a hot name right now. Yeah. Man, he's kind of washed and stuff.
He's washed.
But he could be an amazing pick depending on where he's ranked and where you can get him at.
See, that's how I felt about Pollard a couple years ago, or even who was the dude with the Giants last year? It was like Gilman, I think it was like. He was another dude or Gallman, I think was his name.
Right.
Yeah, he came on late in the year. He helped me out. So yeah. But man, I'm seeing in the chat they're saying don't auto draft, very risky.
It's not as fun auto drafting. No.
I'm just thinking of the sleep element, bro. Deke, have you done a 6 a.m. draft? Does your brain work? You've seen me at 9 a.m., Deke. You know what I'm like at 9 a.m.
I've never done a 6 a.m. draft.
Deke, you see me at 9 a.m. Do you think I can function at 6 a.m. like that, bro? I don't feel like I'm functioning at 6 a.m., bro. I don't. I don't even want to talk to my plants at 6 in the morning. You know I love my plants, baby. I'm going to do that at 6 in the morning, man. It's pretty early.
You got to make a decision. You got to figure it out.
You trying to draft for me?
Do you want Pickett as your starter going into week 1?
If you're willing to wake up at 6 in the morning for this draft, man, you can draft Pickett if you want to, baby.
You have Pickett, Pickens, Najee.
I feel good with that lineup. I feel good with that. You know I feel good with that. I'm not tripping on that.
I'm trying to think what you'll have for defense. I'll probably get you Steelers defense.
Oh,
I am a streaming defense type of guy.
I know.
Same with the kicker. Don't draft the kicker. Try to make a trade before the week 1 happens.
I know you told me that. I think that's the only technique that I don't agree with you on.
Really?
Because to me, I've always had Boz or I've had Tyler Bass, the kicker for Buffalo.
Okay.
And it was always consistency. With the defenses, it was like if I got the Steelers defense, I'm going to ride them for a long time. Bills, like, that's who I was rocking with. Because I did the streaming defense before and it was working. Until I started having some matchups and I'm like, bro, I can't get the defense that I was like looking for.
If other people are doing it,
yes,
that is the problem.
Because I ran into it was like literally 3 of us by mid-season that started streaming defense. And I'm like, bro, you're killing me. Like, it was perfect at first. I was doing that thing like you said. Oh man, pick up this dude.
It's good when you're the outlier doing it.
Absolutely, but when most people are doing it, I'm like, bro, I'm stuck. I'm over here playing defense that I know about to get blown out.
You gotta waste your waiver on it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, man. So that was my only dilemma with that, man. But other than that, though, yeah, advice has been awesome. All right, got Joshua Grimm joining the upper room. Joshua Grimm, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I like it. And before I go forward to the next set of supers and stuff like that, I'm gonna take me a sip. Speaking of taking a sip, we're gonna pay a bill real quick. You trying to pay a bill real quick, Deke?
That works for me.
Because today's episode, I'm excited about because we got a different type of connection with this sponsor for today's show. Today's show is brought to you by Hightower Brewing Company. And the thing that I like about this particular brewing company, they're located in, I believe it is Southeast Ohio. We call it Rayland. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's about 15 minutes outside of Wheeling, West Virginia. So about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Pittsburgh. But with this particular brewing company, family owned, small business, man, local brewery, family friendly, pet friendly as well. Some of the things they offer within their brewery, live music on the weekends. They always have some type of deal going on food wise as well, man. But IPAs, lagers, the thing that I enjoy the most, and Deke can attest to this as well, they have these dope seltzers as well, man. All the different fruity flavors. I think it was a grape one that I was enjoying. I think it was a blueberry one. That was the other one. It was like a sour blueberry as well, man. It's pretty dope. But the thing that I really enjoy, though, even more so with this, is that this is from a person in the chat, man, a person from this podcast family, man. Greg Whiting, reached out to me when we were at Steelers training camp and was like, yo, man, want to show some support, man. Big fan of the show. And, we were able to go ahead and get this locked in, man. So we appreciate him, man. So anybody that is going over there, their website is in the description box. You purchase anything on that website, you'll get 15% off all of your purchases, along with if you're in, at the actual location. Like I said, it's located in Ohio, southeastern Ohio. It's like right at the border, right by Wheeling, West Virginia. If you go in and you actually mention us while you're in there, you get 15% off of your order as well, whether you're getting drinks or food or all inclusive, man. So it's dope. And they got cool little merchandise. You see the little hat I got rocked out as well, man. So just wanted to shout those guys out, man, over at Hightower Brewing Company, man. Definitely show them some love, man. Absolutely.
Hightower Brewery supports us.
Absolutely, man.
Let's support them.
Absolutely, man.
They got this peanut butter porter, too.
You better talk about it.
I'm not a big dark beer guy.
You better talk about it.
But it's pretty damn good. They also, along with the seltzers, you're right. Seltzers are obviously really good. But they have some Pittsburgh theme cans.
They do.
They got a Maz. It's a Bill Mazeroski beer. That's good as well because they sent us a care package. Yes. I was trying them, and I was like, this hits the spot.
No, without a doubt. I know you're more the beer guy. For me, man, I was enjoying the seltzer. They had the tall. Was it 32 ounce they sent us? Yes. It makes the watching experience way better. Start it out there. And you don't have to get as many refills either, Deke. I know, when we got them little ones out there, sometimes we got to worry about that.
True.
But no, shout out to them, though, as well, though, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let's get back to, the regular schedule programming, man.
Works for me.
All right. Let's get back. Let's see. We were on Crystal Privet. Shout out to Crystal Privet. She says 22. Najee Harris is the best offensive player. 3-1 PR yesterday. What the F? Am I missing? 3-1.
He had to dodge 3 tacklers.
Maybe
I saw that once or twice.
But what is the? I don't know what the PR stands for. P/R.
Personal record. I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know, but I do. I'm with her on the Najee though, man. Yo, he was having some plays where you see him do all type of jukes, spins, and I'm like, dang, I wish you just had some better help up front. Oh, that was a dope play. Coming back, hold it, God dog. Yeah, but no, man. Shout out to Najee.
Didn't he lead the league in broken tackles last year? He was in the top 2 or 3.
Absolutely, man.
But he was showcasing that again yesterday, and if the line could just do a little something, it could be the best of both worlds. Where Najee's dodging tackles, but also we got some really nice holes open up, and we can actually get a nice running game going. Hopefully that's the case.
I'm hoping so. Black and Marty, you know we got to show love to the homie. Let's go. Been a long time, it has been, but we glad you're back, baby. He says, I've been super busy with work. Glad to finally be back on a live stream. No, we're glad to have you back as well, man. Definitely appreciate you, man. And don't work too hard. You know the rules. Let's go. Steve Hibbins showing a little love. He says Kenny will be a franchise QB, but he benefits more from having to earn his job. Well, it's a matter of perspective. I could dig that. Yeah, whether you're earning it or it's given to you, as long as you produce. I think that's where I'm at with this whole thing, man. We need production.
Yeah, I think they won about this fine. And, I have my own little leaning on it. I think Pickett should have got some more team one reps as the preseason games waned on. But ultimately, having Pickett start out as the third guy and having him earn the reps throughout training camp and preseason, that was a fair way to do it. Even though he was the first-round pick and the guy out of Pitt, I thought they handled it pretty well.
I would agree, man. I would agree. George East. Google East. Excuse me. And you said the funky C-hand is what you have?
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully it doesn't jump again. Hopefully we should be good. We should be. But Google East says, y'all see Tua's 50-yard bomb. Yeah.
Is he talking about the one he underthrown? I'm actually genuinely curious. Is that the one we're talking about? Did he have another one or a different one?
I thought it was only 50-yarder, right? That had to be it.
Okay.
I thought it was the only one I saw.
It looked like he gave it his all.
Yo, you all foolish. He gave it his all.
I'm not wrong.
He did. He threw that little arm out. He definitely threw that little arm out, bro. But 50 yards, that works. 50 yards is work.
When's Tyreek Hill doing his podcast episode? That needs to be the first question. How do you feel about these deep balls now?
I thought he said that it was better than Mahomes, bro.
I know, that's what I mean. It's like, bro.
It came with a little short.
Yeah, bro, come on. You want to retract that comment you made last week? 2 weeks ago?
He said he gave it his all. He did.
Nothing wrong with that. This is a completed catch.
He gave it his all. Hey, yo, you're right. You're right. He definitely gave it his all on that throw. And yes, it was like, is it gonna make it? All right, it got there. We're good. 50 is better than nothing.
Right.
50 is better than nothing.
Right. So I'm at the funky. Yeah. We paid up to bring Mitch on instead of putting that money in the O-line. No shade on 8, but why not get behind number 10 as our guy? I think that's a good sentiment to have. Yeah. I'm supporting Mitch.
Yeah, based on money-wise, we don't have a lot of money invested on the offensive side of the ball, where a lot of our money, or on the offensive line, a lot of our money is invested at the skill positions, whether you're talking higher in draft picks, Najee, Chase, Pickens, Pat, or guys that we've paid now in terms of Deontay, but we really haven't focused on first or second round offensive linemen, or outside of James Daniels, really, because like Mason Cole's free agency deal was good, but it wasn't to the same level of like how we thought about James Daniels or even Chooks in terms of the value of the money with it. So with that, it does make sense why that is the weak link of this team. I mean, defensively, it's the highest paid unit in the league. When we talk about our defense, we feel really good about a lot of positions, right? We feel really good about a lot of the players over there. But when we're talking about, this is a defense that has a ton of talent out there, a ton of high-end pedigree guys, and a ton of guys that are making good money. So I think that when we're talking about this offensive line, that does, play a part in it, in terms of their development, in terms of why they are where they are, in contrast to the other units out there.
Come on, yeah. Cash Money Chris is cold-blooded. He don't miss. Lights out. Chris Boswell, I guess. Absolutely. He's talking about.
Yeah. You know who messed it up? on the protection?
The block kick?
Yeah.
No. I even watched the game again today.
Yeah.
It wasn't on my radar.
It's the young boy DeMarvin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks good, though.
Yeah, no,
he looks promising in general.
He was nice on defense. I liked him a lot on defense. Special teams, I was like, yo, the field goal protection is a little different, man. But because he's playing the position on field goal block where they have like Cam Hayward play, and then Chase or Chris Wormley was there as well as like the backup. But yeah, I did see where initially people were like, oh man, that's Kendrick Green again. What the heck? I'm like, no.
I didn't even know that was going around.
Yeah, it's like no, that wasn't on Kendrick Green. We don't want to lump all that in on that man right there. Yeah. But DeMarvin, I definitely like what I saw from him though, man. I'm thinking for him, dude, he's definitely playing a lot more consistently as the thing goes along. Still at times he does the young guy stuff, in terms of playing a little high, not being as technically sound as he needs to be. But as a whole, man, I definitely like where he's at. Not just in terms of, against the runner or pass, but in terms of just effort stuff. When I watch screen plays, when I watch pass plays, when I watch anything where it's sideline. You watch 98, you see that big dude running, like getting after it. And when you see that type of effort, it's contagious. But I also like that type of effort because it lets me know that, hey, if you're doing this and there's no guarantee you're going to make the play, just think about how much harder he's going to go when he does know he's going to make that play. Sure. And that's the part when you're talking about guys running to the ball, the effort part. Man, that second man that makes that hit, that causes that forced fumble, like that's all the prerequisite. It takes 30 you running over there and nothing happening for you to have that one where it does happen. But you can't pick and choose that. It's got to be consistent. That's the one thing with DeMarvin that I continue to see that I like about him a lot. I would also say, man, in terms of when he's playing the run, man, I'm loving the physicality that he has. I think the natural pass rush ability continues to be on display as well. And, I mean, he's got a little Cam Hayward when he blocking passes as well, man.
I saw that, yeah.
So I like that, man. That might be like the new D-line thing, man. I feel like all them dudes is starting to, I like it.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get an increased workload as the season goes on. Mm-hmm. Michael Patrick McCracken.
What up, my Irish brother?
The problem is, if Mitch goes 11-6 and wins a playoff game or even the Super Bowl, then what happens with Kenny next year? The argument will be that Pickett could have done it too. Mm-hmm. Does Mitch start next year? If they're close, start KP.
I think that's a lot to digest. You just said that Mitch went 11-6 and won playoff games and even won the Super Bowl. I think that's a totally different conversation. I think I'm.
If Mitch wins the Super Bowl,
like, what are we talking about? If he wins the Super Bowl, we can't pull him if he wins the Super Bowl.
He would have some really high trade value at that point. He would have some really high trade value.
Yo, y'all are wildin', man. Y'all are wildin'.
To his point.
Yeah.
Well, if they're close, start KP. I like that. But actually,
is it close if he leads his team to a Super Bowl?
Huh? I think he's talking about right now.
That's what I'm talking.
His feeling of like going in the season, if it's close, just start KP because he doesn't want to go through all these hypothetical scenarios.
I'm just like, man, what?
Here's what I'll say though, and this is kudos to the front office. I think if Mitch does good, 11-6, whatever, we make it to the playoffs. He's got a good little stat line going for the season. Then, yeah, I guess we're at this crossroads. Do we bring Mitch back? Mm-hmm. We potentially have to re-sign him to an extension because he might want some type of long-term security, or do we just go with Pickett? I think this is why this Mitch deal was amazing by the Steelers because
give you
we can trade Mitch.
Okay.
Because if you think at that point Pickett's going to be 25, a year removed from college. He was coming in right here at 24. If you feel like he's ready, almost like the Aaron Rodgers thing with the Packers, just go with him because he's going to be on that rookie deal now. You trade Mitch. You bring back, who knows, a first-round pick.
I think y'all all
add to the defense, the offense.
I think y'all all overthinking it. If y'all think that Mitch is capable of winning a Super Bowl, why would you move
No, I'm not talking about Super Bowl. I'm saying if it is a Super Bowl,
I'm like, what
Super Bowl's a different
about?
conversation.
Like,
Super Bowl's absolutely a different conversation.
Yeah, that's the part where I can't get past that part. I'm like, yeah, the playoffs, we know is context with that. But I just think even when we're talking about winning a playoff game, we haven't done that in a while. I think that would definitely help him out a major way. But it's one of those things, it's like, man, we don't have to say don't put him out there because we're fearful of that scenario happening. That'd be like the Niners not putting Jimmy G out there the year they drafted Trey Lance. And it's like, Jimmy G was still able to ball. Jimmy G still took that team deep into the postseason. It doesn't take away from what they're doing now, transitioning to Trey Lance. But it still was like for that season, that was the best option. So I just think like in this scenario, if they feel like Mitch is the best option, well, let Mitch be the best option. That's all. I think, man, when it's Kenny's time, man, he's going to get his opportunity, right, wrong, and different. But, yeah, I don't think you don't start Mitch because you're fearful or concerned what that dynamic might look like a year later if they have success. Yeah.
I want Pickett, but if you feel best about Mitch going into week 1, I think you just do it and let the season play out.
Right. You cross that bridge next year when you cross that bridge. I don't think you have to, like, do that right now, though, because you're going to force your hand into something that you don't necessarily have to do, because we talked about it's an easier transition going from Mitch Trubisky to Kenny Pickett. It is a hard transition to have Kenny out there and then say, all right, we're going to pull him back in here and put Mitch out there. That's a way more difficult thing to do, not just in terms of the logistics of those players, but the mentality of those players. It will affect Kenny a lot more negatively than it would affect Mitch negatively. And that also goes to when we're talking about whoever you playing out here early in the season when they're going to have some adversity. It's like, yeah, if they're both can come out there and be successful, sure. But I do think that the negative adversity that Kenny would face early in the year will have more impact on him long term than it would for Mitch, because Mitch has already endured this. Mitch isn't going to wake up and say, hey, man, I've never been hit in a regular season game. This feels different. Oh, man, I've never seen the speed in this regular season game. This feels different. And then you, oh, man, God's seeing ghosts, or he's getting happy feet and all this other nonsense. That's what you worry about with younger guys. So when I think of, and not saying that that's what would happen with Kenny, but those are some of the things that you put into this decision when you're talking about what does that look like early on. All of that stuff has to come into play. All that stuff you take into context.
I liked your 49ers example. I think it is actually a pretty good parallel.
You think
like if we make the playoffs with Mitch and we just feel like, hey, man, like I think we can only go so far with Mitch.
Jimmy G took him to a Super Bowl in the NFC Championship game, and they pulled him, and nobody's looking at San Fran like they're crazy. They're like, we understand it. That's your young guy that you drafted. Give him the opportunity. He earned it.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily earned it, but we knew that this was coming.
To Mitch's credit, though, right now, from what I've seen in preseason, he doesn't look limited like a Jimmy G. To his credit. We'll see how the season plays out. You got to see how the season plays out.
You know, I'm not a fan of the whole Jimmy G, negative, limited thing. I'm over here like, my man wins. That's what he does.
He has got some dubs.
Yeah.
But I've seen in the preseason thus far with Mitch, I've seen arm strength. Mm-hmm. I've seen some really nice mobility.
Oh, yeah.
Will it translate regular season? Will it translate to what you said, wins? Yeah. And, right, well, you just got to see how it plays out. I think this is way too early to be having
we ain't gotta be panicking
these
like that.
conversations. I want Kenny to start week 1, but it's not happening. They feel like it's Mitch, and I'm fine with Mitch. I thought Mitch played good. So we'll worry about the offseason stuff and, like, Kenny, Mitch, who's the quarterback going forward after the season. Because, I mean, this could go many different ways this season. You know what I mean?
100% it could. Like,
Mitch wins the Super Bowl. I mean,
like, how you gonna tell that man, hey, yo, we appreciate that ring. You got us. You got to go now. It's like, man, but we could talk about that when it gets to that. But at least if he's having a season that's like that, I would at least like to see it. That's all. And that goes for Kenny as well, man.
Grant Patterson.
Yeah.
Moats and Deke. How did this great duo meet?
Oh, he spent the block twice with that comment too, man.
Yeah, back-to-back comments.
Yeah.
Just go on. Actually, you're on YouTube right now. After the show, go to the search bar for the videos.
Yeah, type in Moats and Deke meet
for the podcast.
Yeah, because it's a dope story. It's a cool concept, but the condensed version is, mutual friend, a guy that was supposed to have a meeting didn't show, and this fine young man was there. Did you have a cracked screen when you showed me your phone with the images?
Probably.
I feel like you did, low key, bro. Yes. But, he showed me a couple of things that he was capable of from a media perspective. And then from there, we took a chance. Both of us did. Because at the time, this was nowhere near as defined, as polished, or to the level of subscribers and following that it has now. It was nowhere near that. So we both took a chance on each other in a sense, man. But, here we are going on, 4 years now? Is it 4 years?
It's got to be close.
It's good. God, dog, bro. We had pre-COVID.
It's probably 3.5.
Yeah.
It's close to 3.5, maybe. No. 2019, 2020, 2021. Now we're heading into. I think
this is the start of 4. Yeah, this is the start of 4. Because we started like after a season.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So we're getting there, man.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, bro. It was fate.
Yeah, check it out on the channel.
Absolutely, man. But it's a dope story. Yeah, definitely a dope story, man.
Fish momentum. My stories today. Hopefully, I can get a call. LOL.
Hey, man, come on, say, last time everybody was calling, except official momentum. Just don't get it, man.
Michael Patrick McCracken. Good problem to have. They used Bush better. O-line looked rough. I like the defensive formations and the way they used Minka, the linebackers, and the rest of the defensive backs. Unique lineups.
Yeah, it was a lot more.
0 points on the board in the first half. Good credit to the defense there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All the dudes defensively, they definitely have some positive plays out there. Obviously, we can critique Devin on some of the plays. It just depends on what your level of expectation is for Devin in terms of how you grade him. If you feel like good versus bad and things like that, everybody has their perspective of that. So that's that. But I definitely thought that was definitely his best preseason game thus far. So yeah.
Samurai Finn. Mitch had some good moments, but man, on the other hand, he's left a lot on the table. I just want to know ASAP if Kenny is that guy or not. Mitch is capped.
Well, I can understand your perception on that. I guess my question is like, what's the rush with Kenny in terms of finding out if he's the guy or not? In terms of this season, like, I don't think it's gonna change. Are we gonna turn around and draft another guy in the first round next year? You think we'll do that?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we're gonna do that either.
Chance, man. You don't draft a dude out of Pittsburgh in the first round.
Yeah. So like, I don't think you have to just put him out there just for the sake of putting him out there.
The conversation is if Mitch wins that Super Bowl. I mean.
Right, but
Mitch wins the Super Bowl, throws for 50 touchdowns this year. Then you're having a conversation. But it goes back to what Michael Patrick McCracken said. That's probably a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem if that comes up to it. But when we talk the percentages and the probabilities of that happening, that's the other part. And we understand that, yeah, you got a chance. We're just simply saying that the likelihood of that happening, that's up in the air right now. But either way, man, I just think you don't have to rush Kenny just to figure it out today or this, week 1, week 7, week 10 is like, he's going to be here. Yeah.
JMC. Watching the pod is one of the only things helping me through freshman year here at the University of Cincinnati.
Ooh, well, shout out to you over at the University of Cincinnati. They're the Bearcats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cincinnati Bearcats, man. Shout out to you, man.
He's making it sound so bad over there.
Hey, man.
Should have went to Pitt.
Ooh, or JMU. Yeah. Either way, that would have been working. Yeah. But I like it, though, man. We appreciate, being able to help you while you help us. You know what I'm saying? You tune in and make us feel good because we're getting a little attention, and we're giving you some little attention back, man. So salute you, baby. Hopefully, that freshman year goes a lot better, though, man. It's just started, right? Yeah, it's August. You just started the freshman year. Just give it time. Second semester is way better anyways.
All right, chat jumped on me. I'm at Matthew Gisner.
Okay. Yeah. We got a couple in there with Matthew, so I'm not sure which one, but we'll figure it out.
There's a yellow one.
Jake Engelbart. He says, yo, Moats. After you got a sack for the Steelers, you would throw up the bones. Turns a little accent. You try and shout out the big red. Here we go, Steelers. Great Britain. GBR. Actually, no. That is pretty cool, though. But no, that was not the case. I was just throwing up an X 3 times for don't cross the Moats, baby. That was what I was doing. But yeah, man, if you want to throw in that Great Britain, man, we throw it in there too, man. Yeah, I ain't tripping, baby. Shout out to my across the pond folk. All right. Yeah, so this is what I was saying with Matthew Gisner. Show some love right here. Salute you. Then I got Kaza pulling up. He said Super Bowl this year. No, it's the Lions, but we treated them like it was the Lions, like on D. Cam heard my comments last show. We don't need DBs now. Fair enough. I see what he's saying in terms of how the D-line was able to have some success against that Lions offense and stuff like that. And he's saying that we don't need DBs now because of how everything played out yesterday.
Yeah. How much different would it have been if Goff was in there? I don't think it would have been that much different.
Fair. Yeah.
I think they still would have got it. Would have been like a goose egg or like 3 points or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought our defense played pretty good.
I'm with it. I'm ready for the season, man. Consistency has got to show up a little bit better, man. But other than that, though, I think they were fine.
Yeah. I didn't like some of the runs that they got. I mean, they got some more. They got some more in the second half, but that was against our second and third stringers. Yeah. But even the first half, they gashed us a little bit here or there.
Yeah. Just watching it, didn't matter if it was starters or the guys that were subbing in. They had their good plays, but they looked like they were rusty. Like, that was just the reality of it. Like, when I watched Cam, Tyson, Larry, they made their plays without a doubt. But for what we're accustomed to seeing with them, they definitely know that they're capable of way more than that. But that's the consistency part. That's the just knocking that rust off. Because you think about it, that was the first time all three of those guys were together out there playing that many snaps And for those that were in attendance, you can attest to that as well. It was an extremely hot one out there. So I'm sure that also factored into it. But that is why you kind of use this preseason part to get those little, quick tune-ups, because you don't want that being week 1 in the regular season. You want to get that out the way now. I expect those dudes to be a lot better, and they were still good yesterday, but they'll be able to do a lot more once the regular season hits now, because you already get through that part of it. You know what that feeling feels like now. You know how to handle your anxiety, your nerves, your excitement, everything that you're dealing with this year, because every year is different. But it's like, you know what that feels like now. You're good to go. Let's go. Yeah. So for me, I'm definitely confident in those dudes. All right, now we got Matthew Gisner showing love again. Then Matthew Gisner came and showed some more love after that. Oh, right. I do not see which Matthew Gisner. Oh, you auto. Bro, where is this one you're talking about at?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm seeing because I see your screen right now. I'm way down there. It's the gold one.
All right. I'm going to take pictures.
What's the plan?
I'm going to take pictures and send them to you.
We're doing an audible. I don't even know if I'm going to do it.
Oh, you got it. Okay. I'm about to say here. There we go.
Actually.
There we go. I kind of like that. Yeah, man.
The airdrop.
Makes it a little bit easier on us, man. There it is.
Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, I mean, you guys have been around for a while. Like the chat, I'm usually really good at being able to read all these super chats.
That joint will jump.
It'll move, and like there will be a huge chunk of the chats that like disappear on my end, and like we try to get caught up. Most got to read some.
And that thing is crazy. And I keep doing this. Is my issue. I'll read one, and I'm gonna stop the talk every single time. So I'm like, let me just get this picture out ahead of time, so then that way we're all the way caught up, and we can continue proceeding.
Yeah. Is there I was going to say right now, is there any certain topic you got in mind, like aside from the chat, something you wanted to hit on?
Give me 1 second.
While we're getting all this
I'm sending this
kind of
to
stuff organized.
you. Here you go. All right. Airdropping that thing to your partner.
I'm at 7%. I should be all right. That'll last the show.
Deke. You make me feel so confident with my battery on my phone. I just want to throw that out there. It's times where I'll be looking, I'm like, dang, I only got 30%. Deke said, I'm all right. That'll last for like 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I'm over here like, I can't touch my phone. I got 30% left. It's going to die.
No, I'm going to be good with 7%. So, how do we proceed? You want me to keep going with these then?
Yeah, because some of this stuff is organically popping up anyways of what we're going to talk about or what we are talking about. And then I'm sure we're going to also get some info about, people getting released, because we've already seen was it Jace and I think Rondell Carter was the other guy I've seen thus far.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, to me, he's a 4-3 DN playing in a 3-4 outside linebacker. Like, I love my JMU Dukes, but this is the difference between when we talk about me and how I look at my guys. I just take away all of my personal feelings, my personal biasness, and I'm just like, what does the tape say? I wish I could watch all film with no numbers up there, so I don't know who is who, and I just got to just watch him and just judge him that way. And that's how I look at my man Rondell. It's like, I would definitely love for him to be here and love for him to be the guy. But it's like, do I think he's a better player than TJ, Alex, Hamilcar, Derek, Delonte? I don't. But I also don't think that he is a true 3-4 outside linebacker. I think he's a 4-3 DN, hand in the ground type of guy.
Let's hope one of these edge rushers, like Quincy Roche, gets cut so we can pick him up. Yeah. I don't know if we could do another year of Tuska. I'm sorry.
You don't like to. Is it because he won AA? Is that what it is?
No.
He's an FCS guy. You against FCS guys? What's going on, man?
I guess he does a little bit more than Marsh, but.
He does do a lot more. He's more productive than Marsh. And he had a tackle yesterday on special teams. You saw that.
I did.
Come on, man. He's a way better player, bro.
I just would feel better if we had someone like Quincy Roche.
Why?
As our third or fourth guy.
Why? Because we drafted Quincy once upon a time ago.
We drafted him. He looked good last preseason. Then we just randomly cut him. And then he actually played for the Giants last year and was doing some things for them.
Whose defense was better last year? Steelers or the Giants?
I actually don't know.
You're right. I don't know.
I actually don't know, considering we had the worst rush defense in the league.
I was trying to go. I was like,
probably us, because
we had TJ.
Giants have been pretty bad.
We had TJ.
We had TJ.
Yeah, that got to count for something.
But, I mean, we had, I would say, across the board, well, especially if you're looking at the front seven, it was below average. Now it was the defense as a whole, maybe average when you consider the secondary. It's probably below average. I mean, we had the worst rush defense in the league. Yeah. You can't be doing that. Yeah. You just can't. So maybe Quincy Roche could come over
you
here
know
and
what,
shore
man?
things up.
Well, no, bump that. Bring back my dog Rondell. Then if we're going to do all that, I don't even care. Bring him back. Shoot. If we're going to do that, bring my... Last time I jammed you guys was up, we won playoff games. That's all I know. Okay? You got to have a Duke on your roster. That's all I'm saying, man.
All right. Mike Lang. I think I'm right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Mike Lang. People keep asking why were certain people playing, but you need game reps to be consistent and not to start the season off slow. Injuries happen in football.
No, you're right, Mike, man.
You can't go into boxing without sparring.
You heard them. Did you hear that, man? You heard that. I see Deke been doing his homework. Okay. Yeah, man. You got to fight. You got to go out there and play, man. It's football. You're going to have stuff that happens, man. You can't prevent it. What's the difference if a guy gets hurt in yesterday's game or if he goes out there in the first play or the first series, week 1, he's hurt? Like, it's just one of them things. If I remember correctly, wasn't DeCastro like that, right? Him and Pouncey. What's that?
What happened with them?
What year would that have been? Gosh, was that 10 or 11? The infamous cut block. I want to say that would have been 11. Should be DeCastro, if I remember correctly, DeCastro's first year. Tennessee Titans game, if I remember, he's supposed to be cut blocking a guy, misses it, ends up taking my man Pouncey, if I remember correctly. Something along those lines. But
I do remember Pouncey missed like a full season once.
But it was like that type of dynamic, though. But it was literally like the first game, right, like opening series. And it's like, bro, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Big Zay. He says, caught a flat late. Yeah. No, caught a flat. Late to the show. What's up, fellas?
Hey, man, we glad you're here.
Hope you're good, bro.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Mike Brooks. Ben was sacked 38 times. Sacks weren't down. LOL. Last year? Wait, what? What's he saying? Were sacks down? They were down in 2020 when we went 12-4. Mm-hmm. They were up last year. Wasn't he like top 5 in the league in sacks?
I'm sure he was.
Because it went from being the least sacked in the league to, I think it was like top 3 or 4 last year.
He was up in the conversation without a doubt.
Burrow might have been. Cause we definitely had this conversation before. I think we were talking about Burrow. Was Herbert up there?
I don't remember. It was like a couple other guys, but he was definitely in the conversation, though.
Matthew Gisner joining the upper room. He's on a heater.
He is. Shout out to Matthew Gisner, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Baby, we appreciate you from the heart.
He's also giving us some support. And then we got AJ Martinez saying hello to the #1 podcast. Blessings. Tatas.
You know who that is.
I thought he was talking about Terrell Austin for a second. Tatas 10 will do good, and he can take a beating if he has to. 21-17 win in Cincy. Let's go.
I like it, man. Let's go.
Yeah, you get that plus 200 something on the money line. I was looking at it yesterday. Yeah. Rarity Unlimited. See the news about Najee dealing with an injury. Yeah. Is he dealing with it now?
See, I don't think he's dealing. I think it was
just what he was dealing with. We just found out
that it was more significant than what it was led on to be. I think that's
why
he
wasn't practicing.
Yeah, because they just kept saying he just got stepped on, and it's like stepped on in the sprain list. Frank, slightly different,
Big Zay joining the upper room.
Well, what up, Big Zay _2 X's, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed, and we greatly appreciate you as well.
Matthew Gisner, more support.
Man, double, triple salute you, Matthew. God, let's go.
Okay, I think I'm caught up here. All right, so Matthew Gisner has another comment. Says, how many do you think we
get before it jumps on you again?
Huh?
You think it's going to jump on you again?
It might. Why are you
I already got the pictures that we good either way. We good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I included all those when I was taking them, right? Yeah.
Maybe.
I think so. I hope so.
Matthew Gisner, how do these 2 weekends of practice differ from training camp and regular season practice?
Man, so actually this is different for me as well, just because I personally have not experienced this 2-week free time. The Steelers haven't experienced that just yet either. This is new for them in a sense. But these practices, put it like this first week is still going to be more so cleaning up whatever concepts they weren't pleased with throughout the preseason. This first week of practices, you're going to look at, okay, what were some of the things that we struggled with? What were some of the concepts, some of the communication? I I know defensively it was a couple of calls where it's like, man, you see them chattering pre-snap and then post-snap. The communication wasn't as crisp. The guys weren't as confident in their matchups. You'll see those type of things taking place this week in practice. Early on, you might even hear them being, a physical style practice like what you're accustomed to getting in training camp, because you're essentially 2 weeks away from the regular season. But going into that next season, or that next week, that when it's leading up to the opener, well, that's when you're going to get back to like that traditional mock game week, or it'll be a regular game week. So you'll come in on Monday because it'll be a bonus Monday. They'll have Sunday off or whatever. Tuesday off day. Then after that, Wednesday they'll be back. First and second down plays. Was it Thursday? Third down, play action pass. Friday, situational football. Fast Friday, get up out of there. Saturday walkthrough, and then Saturday walkthrough travel day. And then from there Sunday get that dub. Yeah, but that's how that'll be, man. But it's gonna be a different dynamic, man. But it's gonna be good for them though, man, because they'll get some time to get healthy. Definitely want to have your guys as close to healthy as possible going into this opener. But yeah, this 2 weeks time is gonna give them a chance to clean up some of their little errors though.
Baron Bradford, y'all be watching Hard Knocks? ? Dan Campbell is a character. If they cut the left tackle, easy. Let's scoop him up. Mountains of potential. LOL.
Yeah, I have not watched Hard Knocks consistently. Like I said, I've watched the clips of my dog, Kelvin Shepherd, just because that's my Buffalo partner right there. But other than that, yeah, I have not watched it like in depth.
He's right about Dan Campbell being a character. Yeah. I'd say in a good way, though. He's easy to root for.
He's very passionate.
Yeah, we talked about the passion, and he really wants to do well for Detroit.
Yes, he's very passionate, man.
I
appreciate that passion as well.
Right. Rate this 10-team PPR fantasy team.
Oh, this is your question right here, Deke. You are the fantasy guru.
No,
I'm
so far removed from this.
No.
I'm so far removed from this.
But this is the difference. You at least know PPR, and I just be like, I know the players I got. I know I win. That's what I know.
I haven't been doing any mock drafts. Yeah. I don't know where players are going. I'll give it my best effort. Christian Kirk. All right, he's gonna get targets down there. Jameis, Najee.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift.
I like
J.K. Dobbins.
Okay.
All right. I like those three as a running back tandem. Kareem Hunt, too. Devontae, is he talking about Adams?
He's got to get fed, right?
Is he talking about Parker or Adams?
Oh.
That's a big difference.
You are right. That is a major difference.
There's no way he has Devontae Adams, though, because then he also says he has Mike Evans, MT, Michael Thomas, I'm assuming, Juju,
D-Hop, Ertz. Yeah, it's no way you...
D-Hop got that 6-game suspension, though. Ertz, Hawkinson,
you think you're going to get...
McPherson, Green Bay. No, that's got to be Devontae Adams, because he's got him listed as his first receiver. It's got to be.
So then how is he
His team's loaded.
But wait a minute. Who is he drafting first then? Because he has...
that's Kirk Cousins. That's Kirk Cousins.
That's what I'm trying to figure
out.
I'm like, are you taking quarterback Kirk Cousins and then Jameis as your first two picks?
No.
Because that's the order it's in, though.
He drafted Najee first and probably Devontae. He's probably later in the first round, was able to get Najee, came back around, got Devontae, or reversed. He was able to get Devontae late in the first, scooped up Najee early in the second. And then probably went like Mike Evans, then Swift, was able to get Thomas in the fifth. Drafted Hawkinson a little bit later. Juju, D-Hop, those were some late-round flyers. I wonder where he got Dobbins, though.
Yeah. Because like I said,
Dobbins is in that mix, too.
Yeah, I like McPherson. I like Green Bay's defense. That'll work.
Sounds like a good team to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty good team. Kirk is actually a pretty decent fantasy quarterback.
You had me laughing, though, bro. We both said the same thing. He said, is that Devontae Adams or is that Parker? It's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're absolutely right.
That looks like a really good team, actually.
I just don't know who the heck, who else was on the board when these guys were getting off? I don't know, man.
He waited to the very end to take quarterback. So that helped him.
I'm just like, man, this.
So instead of taking probably Mahomes or Rodgers or Josh Allen in the 4th or 5th round, I don't know if they're even going as high as the 3rd round. He just waited on quarterback.
Gotcha.
That's why he was probably able to get Dobbins and
all
Michael
these
Thomas.
other guys.
Yeah, he just loaded up on the skill positions. But I understand the strategy because I don't know if the difference on a fantasy basis
you talked about that, though. With
is
the
that great from Kirk Cousins to a guy like Josh Allen. Now, there is tiers, but, dude, Kirk Cousins, he's a garbage guy. Well, he's going to put up stats.
See, the reason why I like to ride with Josh, because
Jameis is a good pick, too.
The reason I like Josh, though, I know he's down for them crazy games where you're gonna
Sure.
have the arm and leg element.
Russ
of it,
does
man.
that too.
Yes,
Even if you
absolutely.
get down
Absolutely,
20 points, all right, that's actually just going to
That's-
help
it's
me in
perfect.
fantasy because
Yes,
he's
it's
going to start
perfect.
slinging it out
Yes.
there, running all over the place.
That's how I felt about Josh these past couple years. And Lamar was my other guy. I've been Josh
He's a
Lamar.
good fantasy quarterback,
I've been Josh and Lamar, man. I had 7 that 1 year. I told you that I did have 7 that 1 year. I ain't playing much, but I had him on the roster.
Provided good leadership.
You know what I mean? It counted. We went to the championship. It got to count for something.
It does. Big Zay. Big props to Greg and all my family. Ohio family.
Yo, let's go,
419
man. Heck
Toledo,
yeah.
stand up.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, talking about Greg Whiting, man, with the with Hightower Brewing Company.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, absolutely. That's because Ohio. That's the Greg he's talking about.
Yeah, thanks a ton.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Crystal, Privat. PR is pass ratio.
Oh,
7 rushes to 21 passes in the first half.
Got you. Yeah.
What I said, personal record.
And I went with. I was like, that's about right. Yeah, PR. I was thinking about track. I was like, yeah, track. That's what they call it, a PR. Yep.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
Calmonier. Hypothetical
We
scenario.
do need more balance, though, bro. We do need more balance.
On offense?
Yeah. But we can't have balance if that offensive line doesn't give us the balance.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
That's
the
other
problem
part.
was the
Yeah.
penalties. I mean,
That's the
we're
part,
putting
absolutely.
like first and 20s or
Yeah.
second and 20s. Yeah, you got to pass. You got to try to
Absolutely.
get
We
back
did a
on
good
schedule
job of
somehow.
getting back on schedule, but yeah, you can't be balanced when you're doing that type of self-inflicted stuff.
Come on here. Hypothetical scenario. D. Bush, Miles Jack, and Spillane are all out. Our only 2 options are Joe Schobert, Sean Spence, Bostic, or Barron. Which 2 you going with?
Now,
Probably
how
Bostic and
no.
Barron, maybe.
No Mark Robinson and Buddy Johnson, they're not available because I would just go that group.
No, he's trying to give
Yeah.
former linebackers.
All right, so we don't count any linebacker on this roster then. All right, if that's the case, then I'm going to just go Joe Schobert and Sean Spence because Spence is my dog. I don't care about in terms of what he did on the field. Like, that's my man. Yeah, I'm biased today.
I like Bostic and Barron. Barron
All right.
can give us maybe a little bit better in coverage. Bostic didn't have the best showing with us, but I don't know, it was the best fit for him. But if you add Barron,
Now,
it could be a better fit. And Bostic has actually done kind of decent without us.
No, man, you can't go there. We going that route, man.
What do you mean?
You talking what he did somewhere else. We talking what he did here in Pittsburgh. Because if that's the case, Schobert should be number 1. Because Schobert,
he made a
what he's
Pro Bowl.
done in Cleveland and what he did in, it's like, come on, man. Like, we talk what he did in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think either Schobert or Bostic was like that amazing.
This is Pittsburgh, bro.
And Barron, I like the stuff we talked about with
Yeah.
Barron. I think he got a raw deal here.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of pointed at him and just blamed him for a lot of stuff, but he's still somewhat productive.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with Devin Bush's rookie year.
Yeah.
So we were looking for someone not to blame, or someone to blame outside of Devin Bush.
We were looking for somebody.
And Mark Barron was an easy target.
You're not homegrown. Yep, we're going to put it on you, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm.
man, so that's why I'm rolling with Spence.
I don't know
That's
if
my
I'm
dude, man.
remembering the Barron era more positively than what it was though, because I remember
I
I
feel
wasn't
like
too
you
thrilled
are.
with him.
I do feel like you are, because that was around that time we went Barron to Bostic, and then who else did we bring in? It was like that's when we was like rotate. LJ Fort was around that time frame as well. We were just trying to figure out who could be that answer, because that's right when the whole trying to replace Shazier time frame. Think about it, was all like the next couple years. Bostic, Barron, drafting Bush, LJ Fort getting a chance, all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what was the other dude? The safety that we brought in from Green Bay that got mad. Morgan Burnett. He was the other guy we tried in that same like role and stuff. So yeah.
Come on here. Mitch/Kenny reminds me of Nick Foles, Carson Wentz. No,
How do you feel about
They
that?
didn't start off with Nick Foles. No, I think it's almost the opposite. Like if we brought Kenny in,
all right,
and we're starting Kenny right off the bat, and Mitch is just the backup, I think that's more similar. Because Foles was the veteran backup to Wentz.
Yeah. He got
and
in
Wentz
at the
was
end
the
of the year
first
when he got
round
hurt.
pick. Yeah, exactly. So I almost think it's reverse in a way.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just saying there's 2 capable guys there.
Fair. Yeah.
Foles, I don't think anyone thought he was capable at the time, but there's something to him.
Man, what's his nickname?
Playing with the Eagles.
What's his
I don't
nickname?
know. I don't know.
What his nickname is, Deke?
He was touched by God.
What his
for that playoff
nickname? He
run.
was touched, all right. What's his nickname, Deke? Come on, man. You know what he on. Yeah. Ain't no moment ever too big for that guy over there. Just remember that.
Except for when he gets.
Nah, we ain't asked for that. Now we ain't asked for that
Has
context.
to be the starter for like the Jaguars or the Bears.
He don't gotta do all that.
Just
When
play
it-
in a regular season
big
for
time
another
moments,
team outside the
if
Eagles.
it's a big time moment, you know who to call. We ain't calling a Ghostbusters. We calling him. Okay?
Or if he's just going up against Brady.
That too. Yes.
Because I swear he's won games even like in Chicago
Absolutely.
against Brady. Brady against the Bucs. It's like
He has the Achilles heel, bro.
Bucs are the way better
Yeah.
team, but you know what? It's Foles versus
Yeah.
Brady, and Foles is just gonna get this win somehow. Matthew Gisner. How are these 2 weeks? All right, he already asked that. I guess you want to ask it again. All right, let's see. This chat jumped to Najee Laupack. How are we looking here?
Should be a Damon Brown.
No, but I'm at a Najee Laupack gold. I think I'm right after you.
Where are we at?
Okay,
yeah, we should be good then. All right, because it's popping up. I see the difference on your screen versus my screen. I was like, why does it show up like that over there, but not for me?
We're on schedule.
All right, so we got Damon Brown pulling up. He says, what's happening, fellas? What it do? Just got back from L.A. Glad to hear the safe travels were there for you. He says, can't wear your Steelers gear everywhere. Apparently, Rolling 20s Crips hijacked our logo. I thought it was going to get ugly. He understood I wasn't involved. Shout out to Trina. Yo. Holy cow. Well, first off, definitely glad that you made it out safely. The Rolling 20 Crips, I have heard of those guys. And yes, I am glad that you were able to safely maneuver through that situation. You got to be careful out there on the west side. That is very accurate. I am not hip to all the colors and the logos and everybody that has their alliances, but when in doubt, white flag it. When in doubt, peace treaty. When in doubt, I am a fan. I am non-affiliated. That's your approach. So I'm glad to hear that worked for you, Damon. But yeah, gotta be careful out there, man.
Najee Laupack. Afternoon, fellas. Hella late finishing up an AC install.
Let's go. Make
Hope
that
y'all
money,
having
baby.
a blessed Monday. Send you an email, Moats. I had my notepad this game, got roasted af, and couldn't get up to get a pen. So did he just send you a blank email?
Or maybe he sends like a super long email. Either way, well, like I said, I don't know if it'll be this week, but I'm gonna try to make some time, man. But it's a busy week right now. This is a very, very busy week, but it's all good though. See, for everybody else, it's like that 2 week. Oh, Steelers got 13 days off. I'm like, yeah, not for me over here, man. It's the hot time right now. It's a good time though, good time, but it's definitely hot season.
Steve Dadick 3. This is a good guy right here. It's my cousin.
Let's go.
Number 93.
Yeah.
Lays the boom on everyone, including his own teammates.
You better talk about it.
He had a nice Lions block on the long run and almost took out our Steeler on a punt coverage.
Oh no, that's Mark Robinson, 100%. Yes, sir. Jags game, same concept. He diving in his. I'm like, bro, you almost took out 3 people, but I'm not going to tell you not to do it. What's Coach Thomas? I'd rather say whoa than sick him. Keep sicking them, baby. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Yesterday, in fact, I was watching it, man. It was an OPI play where they tried to run a pick. It was like the receiver tried to slant in and pick him, and then from there, they were going to throw the flat route. He makes the tackle on the flat route. He absolutely destroys the receiver, though. They threw the flag on the receiver for the illegal, like, blocking, offensive pass interference. I'm like, bro, that receiver, he's got to feel sick right now. It's like, yo, you got the penalty, and you got smashed, and he still made the tackle. That's Mark Robinson, though. You cut his tape on, that's what you see. It's not always perfect, but the productivity, the effort, the consistency, it continues to jump off the screen, man.
Where are you at with the Robinson starter bus?
This is my biggest ordeal with it. It just depends on what you're trying to accomplish here. If you don't have fear of, the mistakes that he's going to make, then you go Mark Robinson. If you want the most consistent, the safest option, you go Robert Spillane. If you want to keep hoping and wishing that what you saw yesterday is going to be the start of something new, a turned over new leaf, then you go Devin. Huh? You just said you didn't play that bad, right?
Because that's again gets blown off. I can't remember if it was a tight end or receiver, but the dude runs right up the middle to Devin Bush. Wasn't it like a 3rd and 20 or something? Or
so it was 3rd and 20. It was a screen play. It was 3rd and 20. It was a draw. Devin was in coverage. Devin reacted great. I loved in terms of him backpedaling, putting the foot in the ground, reading the draw. And this is where we can say, okay, are you – and when I said earlier, when I was like, hey, depending on your expectations for Devin will dictate or determine how you feel he played yesterday. If you've dumbed down your expectations, not in a negative way, but if you've taken it down to where you look at that play and you're like, well, he kind of got held, or, hey, man, he was in the right place. He couldn't get it. Well, that's fine. Then you think he was fine. I'm accustomed to in Pittsburgh where we're saying a tight end can't block you and you never trade 1 for 1. And the answer to that equation of how do you combat that block right there, instead of being lateral like how he did, you attack it downhill. You cause the action, hat in hands, extend him, win his grass. We talk about, right? Same with the offensive line, right? When you make that contact, are you a yard ahead or are you a yard behind? He stayed lateral. So it's like when you stay lateral and now you're looking, you give that guy a chance to hold on you a little bit. Did he hold him? Absolutely, he held him a little bit. But that's because you allowed him to do it. the way you keep his hands off of you is when you're coming up to him like that, you put right here, front part of that forehead, and these two hands right here in his chest. Bam. Now after that, now I'm shocking, I'm locking, I'm getting off that block, working a release. I'm not just dropping my hands, because that's how you get held as well. You need to sink a rip. Okay, or you need to go work an arm over, but you have to work a block release. They're not going to just let you go on the NFL level. So when you watch that play and you're seeing him laterally here, stick his head back, it's like, okay, cool. You can hope for the flag, and it's a 50-50 call. They might call it, they might not. From my experiences, they don't typically call those. From my experiences, you have to be fighting like a son of a gun, or it has to be very egregious for them to call that. But that depends on your perception of Devin and what your expectations are. If your expectation is, well, hey, man, he read it because he was in coverage. He read it, third and long. I get it. Draw a play. Hey, he was in the right position, kind of got held, and you're fine with that? Cool. That's fine. And that's why I'm just kind of like, if that's the approach, well, that's an option for you. If you want a guy that will recognize it, is going to fight it, but maybe not as athletic, okay, you go Robert Spillane. If you want the guy that he might not read it the right way, but he's going to run through this guy's face and blow this dude up, what are you going to Mark Robinson? But that's the difference of those three guys, just depending on what you're looking for with them. But you heard it yourself. You even caught yourself when you said it with Devin. He's like, oh, he wasn't that bad. It depends on how you're looking at it. It's like,
he wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought he made some plays.
No, he definitely and he did do some good stuff, without a doubt. I like the 4th and 1 stop that he had. Now, in the moment, I was like, yo, he made a crazy play. Going back and looking on the tape, I'm like, yo, Miles Jack made the crazy play. He was the beneficiary of it.
Yeah.
But either way, it's like, yo, he made a play. And that's what you want to see. But context, and that's the stuff we talk about with him and all these other players. It's like, no, we can support him, and you should. I support all these dudes. But the context is what we're talking about. And when we're seeing who's starting, backups, you got to split hairs. You got to look into all the little stuff like that. And that's the stuff that we're talking about. But like I said, if your approach is, hey, man, that's enough, well, then, hey, that's enough. You know, because it was definitely his best preseason game of this year to me. But once again, when you're asking, is that what the standard is for what you expected from him? That's, to me, is the difference, because I don't look at that as, oh, man, yeah, you're in the right place. Hey, man, you're doing enough.
Step in the right direction.
I'm like, it's a step in the right direction, 100%. But you also have to remember, last week, when we started talking Mark Robinson, remember I also said that I'm kind of past this 5-5. We're just going to keep waiting. It's like, I don't care about that. Like, I want to see more. Like, I don't want to grade it on a scale. And that's kind of what I felt like we were doing for too long, from my perspective, as it pertained to him. But it definitely was a step in the right direction for him yesterday, without a doubt.
Yeah, because I got to assume they're going to be going with this Devin Bush, Spillane rotation heading into the regular season. Probably Bush getting most of the work and then just seeing how he does throughout the game. Now, I don't know if they pulled Bush specifically because of that play. Because am I wrong? After that 3rd and 14,
they pulled him out.
They pulled him out,
and then they brought him back in like the next series, or it was either the next series or the series after that. But for a fact, they definitely pulled him out, and that was like one of the things. I'm like, I get the frustration of why you would yank him. I wasn't a fan of it in the moment, just because I know as a player, I've been on both sides of that. I've been the person that's gotten yanked. I've been the person that they sending you out there to go yank a guy, and it's like, it's that is kind of like too hypersensitive to these plays. You know what I mean? If you do it after the series, that's fine. In the series like that, and like I said, it could just be they were switching personnel groupings. We don't know that, but we definitely did not see him back out there on that series after that play. But yeah, you can still, man. It's just, like I said, with him is very unique in terms of how you handle that. Like, do you dumb down what our expectations should be for him, or what our expectations were for him prior to seeing him in the preseason this year? Because our expectations were a lot higher for him prior to the preseason games. Now here we are after 3 preseason games, and it's like, what do we say is good for Devin versus what we see from others, where we're like, that's normal. That's what we expect from them. But with Devin, it's like, we don't talk about it the same right now. So
seems like he's got a good thing going with Miles Jack, though. I saw them in the locker room chatting it up, having a good time.
Yeah, they were feeling good, man.
There's a video on YouTube. So I'm just wondering, man, maybe sometimes things take a little bit to get going. I mean, you're right, because a lot of this is just like, hey, I'm hoping this thing turns around. But, hey, dude, it's a step in the right direction right now. And we're going to be going with him week 1. Like, I don't really have much doubt about that, because as much as
I would agree.
Robinson would be a cool story and stuff.
The Spillane thing, like,
Yeah.
What we saw yesterday, that's what they're going to be their approach. Devin Bush and Miles in base, when they go into some of their dime or sub package ball, that's when you'll see Spillane getting out there. And he's out there a lot, but it's because of they trust him. He communicates. He is the beacon of communication in those sub packages. You look at him directing traffic, D-line, safeties, linebackers. That's Spillane. That's what he's doing. And you always know he's going to be in the right position. And once again, yesterday, consistently right position. Makes the plays he's supposed to make. Plays with great effort. So
we just do a rotation of Spillane and Robinson?
I mean, you could. But once again, it's like, are you trying to go that route or do you want to go with Devin Bush first? I think they're going to go Devin Bush first.
They definitely are.
Yeah. So it's like, when do you even get to the point of even seeing that? Or how bad does it have to be to see that? Because the only reason Spillane rotates in is because of Devin Bush allowing that to happen. Robert Spillane was never getting on that field until this door was open. And then it remained open for how many years now? And now here we are saying, hey, give him more time.
What's happened? Did we fall off this far?
Okay.
Were we cool with the rotation?
But when I say this, when I say it, I'm a hater at times. When I'm like, hey,
What's
bro,
happened?
I don't agree with this. I think we're making a lot of excuses. It's like you're a hater. And I'm like, bro.
I still got a little bit of a belief in
So-
Devin Bush, dude. There's a little bit there.
Yeah.
There's a little bit there still. There's a little bit there.
I just go off of what I see, man. That's it, bro. Because, hey, I feel like it's like, I just don't know, man. I would love to have Devin be this guy consistently, but I just don't know if you could trust it to be like that. Spillane, you could trust it, but he's limited. And Mark, I think, is the best of both worlds, but he's very, very young. And it shows. It definitely shows. He'll have some plays where it's like, you got to clean that up a little bit. But you can still win with it. But that's a different beast of what you're going to be dealing with compared to the Devin Bush stuff. Like when we talk about Devin, we critique him on, can he get off a block? Is the effort always there? Is the desire always there? With Mark, you're not going to question those things, but you are early on. You're going to have to question sometimes, man, is this going to be too much on his plate mentally? Because you're going to be asking a lot of him, especially once the season gets here. It looked a little bit like that
yesterday, too.
Absolutely it did. And that's like, when I see that, I'm like, they didn't put all that on his plate just yet. When the regular season hits, man, Cincinnati, bro, it's going to be a way bigger playbook, checks, formation checks, boundary checks. Like, hey, man, we got this call, but me and you working a different way than everybody else working. Like, all of that happens once the season gets here. We don't show any of that in the preseason. So that's the part when I'm looking at Mark and I'm like, okay, when you put that on his plate, is that going to slow him down? Is that going to cause his head to spin? Because that Jaguars game, he had like it was like a 3-play window where he was spinning a little bit. And I'm looking, I'm like, everything else has been fine, but 1, 2, and 3, I can see where you kind of got confused here. You dropped this coverage, you blitzed when you weren't supposed to, and now you're kind of in no man's land, just like, where am I at in the zone? But then you're able to pick it back up after that, but that shows. And if I'm seeing that, what do you think the coordinators for the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be doing? I watch tape, but listen, Deke, I'm retired. I got wife, kids. We do this podcast. I got radio show. You think I'm not watching tape all day like that? Them dudes, they looking for those type of things. And you know what they're saying? Okay, he messed up that call. He messed up that call. He messed up that call. Well, guess what? When they see him in that stadium, what you think they're coming back to?
Same exact formation.
That call. Or they go window dress it. It's going to end in that formation, but they're going to make it real, real pretty ahead of time. Like, yo, what is this? Man, motion here, shift here. What the heck? Ball snap. And when you're talking about regular season, when it actually matters, now that's when you can get got. That's when it can hurt you a little bit more. So like I said, it's a different, potential negative that you would deal with Mark because of the youth, not necessarily because of his ability. Whereas with Devin, the ability is there, but you're just like, man, are you actually going to be the productive player? And like I said, with Spillane, he's kind of like that middle dude of, he has this part, but he doesn't have that part.
Right. All right. Let's go, UW.
Let's do it, man.
So, Moats, any ideas on the depth chart at edge? Tuska can't be the only guy behind TJ and Alex, right?
No, you're right, man. No, Hamilcar and Delonte Scott. They like Delonte a lot, man. I know, Quincy, you're a dude. I know it, baby.
If it happens.
Delonte had a sack yesterday, though. You ain't like that jump up really high in the air, show the 40-inch vert?
I honestly don't even remember it. It was late in the game.
Yeah, it was.
Yes. I definitely don't remember that.
Because
even whenever I was rewatching, I turned the game off when Mason came in.
When they showed the sack, I was kind of like, I was reminded of my college D-line coach. He would like hate you jumping. He's like, bro, I don't want to see your 40-inch vertical. I don't care about that batted pass. I want you to hit the quarterback. QB hits hurt more than batted passes. He was like, yo, don't be jumping. As soon as I seen him jump, I'm like, yo, it worked out there. But I'm like, a lot of times when you jump, that's usually when they pump and they go around. It just so happened that that boy just, wasn't as athletic in that scene. But, yeah.
Jake Engelbart. Jimmy G is staying in San Francisco. Just got a contract.
Yeah, that's what I did. It's people in the chat putting that up there. Yeah, I wasn't sure how accurate it was, though.
What?
I definitely saw people putting that up there, though.
I need to see this for myself.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say it, because I'm like, I haven't seen it to confirm it just yet.
Okay.
What did it say, bro?
49ers agreed to 1-year contract restructure with Jimmy G.
Do we got details on numbers?
We're going to find out. This is the 49ers webzone.com. They better have the numbers.
That's a little interesting of a move.
I don't see numbers.
Okay.
Schefter, Jimmy G and 49ers agreed to the restructured 1-year deal. Keep the quarterback in San Fran this season, per sources. The contract contains a no trade and no tag clause, assuring Garoppolo will remain in San Francisco this season and have the freedom to leave in 2023.
You can't trade that man, which I like. He controls his narrative, and you can't tag him. So if you have a change of heart because you think Trey Lance is playing very bad, you can't tag me either. I'm out. It's my last year, for better or worse. I like that.
We got details.
I like that.
Comp update. Jimmy G's 1-year restructured deal is worth $6.5 million in base, fully guaranteed per sources. He has another total of $500K in roster bonuses. He also has playtime bonuses that can boost it another nearly $9 million. So 1 year, $7 million deal, up to just shy of $16 million.
So he took the pay cut.
How does that work? How do they clear that cap hit off their books now?
That's what I'm trying. I don't know the
Probably
logistics of it, but they
for the next 2 or 3 years they could just spread it out.
I'm like, that's how they just tore the last year of that deal up and just gave him this new deal where it's way more. If that was the money, the trade conversation is way more in play. The biggest reason why the trade conversation wasn't in play was the contract that he had, and then he went ahead and had the surgery as well. That money right there, you ain't tripping on that.
You know what? There's smarter people out there that are figuring that out. I don't know how that works.
Like, what in the world?
Didn't he have like a $26 or $27 million cap?
Yes, and that was why we were like, yo, we don't want that for that price. Yeah, a lot of teams didn't want that for that price. Mm-hmm.
Why is he taking the restructured deal?
I think for him, he knew, all right, I had the surgery, so you do the surgery to hardball the Niners so they can't move you. They can't cut you. I think when you talk about the deal, you say, what's the best situation that could happen for me? I stay here. I'm going to be rehabbing, so I don't have to change that process. I'm already familiar with this team. I know I can win with this team. This team already believes in me. The narrative is what? We're trying to believe in Trey Lance, right? So you take in less, okay, worst case, I don't play a snap this year, but I'm going to be able to hit the market, and I control my narrative next year. You can't tag me. You can't trade me. So that's the first thing that I like. But then also, if you're Jimmy G, you're saying to yourself, you've seen Trey Lance for the past season. If you think that you're better than him, then you say, okay, I'll take this little bit of money. And I know at some point in time, y'all going to turn to me this season. But that's also why I think he has it where it has to be like that clean exit at the end of the season for him. It's kind of like I said, best of both worlds. If he goes out there and plays extremely well, which he can do with this team, it doesn't hurt him. He's going to get even more money when he hits the market. But this gives him that freedom, whereas he would have kept the contract as is. They could trade him potentially in the season, or at the end of the year if they wanted to tag him because they didn't like what they saw with Lance, so they would control his destination or his freedom from a free agency perspective.
And there's probably no trade market.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they cut him, and I don't know. I guess you're signing some type of discounted deal, but you might be going to a roster that isn't as sound as the 49ers. And you're probably going to be starting off the season as a backup, too. Yeah.
We're so close to the regular season starting. Off of an injury as well. Remember, he had that shoulder surgery late in the process. So all of that definitely plays in. So that's why I was like, man, I think it makes sense for Jimmy. It makes sense this year for the Niners. You're rolling with Trey Lance, but now you at least feel really good about your insurance policy because this is a guy that's taking you to a Super Bowl, taking you to an NFC Championship game, or 2 NFC Championship games in the past 3 years. So you feel really confident in what he's capable of, but you're just, saying that, hey, man, Trey is going to be our guy. But if Trey gets hurt, if Trey is stinking it up, you ain't tripping if you go, hey, Jimmy G, come on, man. Yeah.
Logan Bupp, upper room member.
Shout out to Logan Bupp, and welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed, baby.
Damon Brown. Deke. What did you think or say about Moats when he was on the squad? Honestly. How bad did you trash him when he messed up? I was just more of a pro offense killer B guy and more or less saying the defense is costing us. So it was never anything against Moats as a whole.
There it is. But trust me, I'm never worried about anything anyone has to say.
That was
so you're good.
That
you're
was my
good.
vibes, Frank, during that
trust
era.
Me, you're good.
Yeah, I feel like the offense was nice. I was like, we need to pick it up on defense as a whole. I thought that was my thing. All right, this chat. Let's see.
Should be Matthew Giz.
Oh no, I don't think
we should be. Yeah, we should be caught up.
I'm definitely good. Let me just find it.
Yeah.
That was Damon Brown. We got Matthew Gisner. Keeping his hot streak alive. Got 45 minutes until my fantasy draft. Good luck.
That makes sense why he's been asking these. Okay. I like the urgency. Let's go.
Caleb Cole.
We should ask him, what pick are you, man? Huh?
Yeah, go ahead. Drop your pick.
Yeah, drop your pick, man.
We'll try to give you advice.
Let's go.
Caleb Cole. I need to start seeing more of this mobility and offensive play calling. We may be on the verge of seeing the greatest NFL heist of all time. #7GOAT.
Huh.
Is he talking about the sabotage? He's used the new
allegedly,
phrasing, the NFL heist.
Yeah. Allegedly, sabotage. Yeah.
We may be on the verge. It's already happened. There's no on the verge. They already sabotaged Seven's final season.
Is it really? I thought
it's over. It already happened. I thought
Canada was being sabotaged, and now that's what we all are like. Yo, is Canada good like that? Remember, he made the sacrifice 4-7.
No, he didn't.
That's what I thought. That's what happened.
He was calling some shitty calls last year.
No, man. They said he made the sacrifice. They said he took 2 steps back so that way Ben could go out on his shield. You know?
I just know what Charlie Batch was saying, and he wasn't too fond of Canada. And I know Charlie Batch is kind of connected to Ben. He's going to stick up for his guy. So, hey, man, unless we want to say Charlie Batch is lying, I don't think that's the case. He's an upstanding man.
He's a friend of the show, friend of the family.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He wasn't thrilled about the play calling last year. He was saying this is the first time ever. I'm gonna.
He did say
botch
that on
up this
show.
tweet maybe a little bit, but paraphrasing. This is the first time ever Ben hasn't been able to get like full autonomy.
He said he can't call the 2-minute drill and stuff like that.
But then he said it's literally no coincidence. This might have been Dulac, but there's a combination of some Dulac tweets and Batch tweets that I was able to just sink in together and be like, wow, this was one of the greatest heists of all time, if not the greatest sabotage of the best quarterback for an organization I've ever seen. I was like, this has been a complete sabotage this whole season. It all connected at the end. It all connected. So unless Batch or Dulac are lying here, I mean, it's all out there. It's all out there. You could look up Big Deke News, the Steel City travesty. There's phenomenal reporting on it.
Bro, you kill me with this. I love it. Matthew
Gisner. Thanks for the picks last year at the Ravens Steelers game. I guess we took pictures with Matthew.
No doubt then.
No problem.
Let's go. I like it. I would say I can see in your profile pic, but the way my computer's set up, I can't see y'all profile pics like that. But shout out to you though, Matthew, and I'm glad that we do have that rapport. Then even better.
That's it for the super chats.
All right. Let me think, man. I'm trying to think, man. We talked about a lot of these dudes already.
We did. We talked quarterbacks. We talked Casey.
We talked O-line.
We talked like TJ being in the game. I guess really not receivers. Do we need to talk receivers though?
Well, I did want to ask you this because this came up last night in the on the Space Talk. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, George Pickens, right? All 3 definitively locked in.
For sure.
So we're trying to just figure out these last couple of players. So these are some of the names. Gunnar Olszewski.
Locked in.
Calvin Austin.
Locked in.
Steven Sims.
Miles, like AB out there.
Miles Boykins. And Tyler Vaughns. That's the Calvin Austin part. When we take into context, we obviously know he was 4th round draft pick this year. 2 weeks of training camp. We haven't seen him at all after that. Gunnar Olszewski. We've seen him have some really good moments as a receiver, as a return man, has a fumble though. Steven Sims, we've seen him have some electric moments as well. A lot of positivity with him.
Yeah, really not too much negative.
Yeah, I would say not a lot of negative with him. Miles Boykin. I thought that he showed more yesterday with the back show. I didn't know he could do that. I knew he's the big body. How
about that throw, huh?
Oh, yeah, shout out to it all. Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm with it. But shout out to the catch too, man. You know what I mean? Like that body control adjusting, man. Like that was dope to see. Also, you know what he brings in terms of special team. And obviously, when we're talking about with Boykins, we're seeing some of the tackles, some of the size that he plays with out there. But then even Tyler Vaughns, this is another guy for the third week in a row where you see him making plays.
He dropped a dot though.
But you saw him make a ton
I know,
of plays.
again.
That's what he does.
He's still out there.
Yeah.
Making it happen. I
So-
like all three of them.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, we keeping 5?
Maybe
Keeping
7.
6? So if we keeping 7, you pull it from other positions. We talked about even
Derek
6 pulls
Watt.
from other positions. 6 is gonna pull at least 1 from another position. 7, that's gonna pull 2. We gonna you know what I mean?
Probably Derek Watt.
And who else? You said 7. If we keeping 7, like that's the type of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, I'm like, okay,
Do you put Calvin Austin on IR? Maybe you could pull that off.
but you have to have him on the active roster when you first make these cuts.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he.
A couple of those guys are gonna have to go through waivers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're lasting because I'm hearing
That's
some rumors
the other
that
part. Yeah.
teams are inquiring about Steven
Mhm.
Sims. I don't know about Miles Boykin, but also Tyler Vaughns.
Yeah, Steven Sims, bro, I like, man. He
Dude, he looks
plays
exact-
so
am I wrong?
fast.
I-
He looks
am
like
I
AB.
wrong?
He looks AB.
The slant across the middle,
He looks like
AB
AB,
with the
yeah.
socks, everything.
Absolutely, he
It's
looks like
unreal.
AB, man. Absolutely,
It's unreal.
yeah. Like I like his game a lot. I like what I'm seeing from him, man. Tough dude, man. So, would you keep him over these other guys?
I'd like to keep everyone. It's not possible.
So
That's how good we are with receivers, though.
So hence the conversation, because they put this on me last night. And I was like, "Whoa, man! Hey, man!
Well,
don't
I
lead
said
out here."
Boykin initially. I said
Okay.
he's the 6th guy, and that's it.
So your 5 is Gunner, Calvin Austin, Miles Boykin, and then Pickens,
The big 3. Yeah.
Claypool, and Deontay.
Actually, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna call the receiver
So
group.
so
the
no
big 3.
Steven Sims, no Tyler Vaughns, and no who was the last one?
Well, I don't think we cut Snead just yet.
Oh yeah, he's the other one.
Vaughn, Snead, Boykin.
So all 3 of
And
them
Sims.
dudes, you let him walk. Steven Sims the one for me, man. I don't know if I can walk
It's a
away from
toss
him,
up.
bro.
Well, the thing about him that he adds is that jet sweep dynamic. Now,
Yeah,
Olszewski was doing that too.
but the speed is very different.
Speed's different,
Speed is very different.
and I mean,
Yeah.
Sims could be an extra guy just to have on special teams as a
Yeah.
backup because I think they're going to be rolling. We saw in yesterday's game.
Yeah.
Gunner's the number 1.
Gunner's nice as a return, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the number 1.
He looks so smooth and
Like,
so comfortable out.
You don't really need 2
I
return
looked,
men, though.
I looked at them two. These Steven Sims and Gunner both had the same situation. Punt, they catch it inside the 10. You watch Gunner get it on the 10, make something happen. North and south picks up quality yards. Look at Steven, he tries to go lateral, gets tackled, ball inside the 10. When I'm looking at that, I'm like, that is some of the detail stuff. But that is the difference when you're talking about a guy like Gunner, who's this is what he does. Like that is his niche at the NFL level. I like it, man. But Steven is nice to me, bro.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I think we're just going to be
nice, bruh.
disappointed one way or another because
Yeah.
we're going to have to let a couple of those guys go.
That's the one for me though. I'm just like
We'll
I don't
definitely
know
try
how
to
we move in
sign
that
them on
room,
practice squad,
bro.
but
Yeah,
I don't know if they're making it to that point. They'll probably get picked up. It's a bummer, but I mean, we got 3 awesome players.
yeah.
and
The top 3 are solidified.
I'm
Calvin
calling
makes
them the
it
big 3.
interesting.
We
Calvin
got the
makes
big
it
3.
interesting.
We got the big 3 in Pittsburgh.
Calvin makes it real interesting with the injury stuff, man. Because I feel like if he was healthy this whole time we were seeing him, I think that locks him in and solidifies him, and now it's a different
Right.
conversation.
Now maybe one of these guys we're talking about could actually
Right.
have a little bit of a role
Yeah.
because you're going to have some 4 wide receiver sets out
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Do you want it to be Gunner? Do you want it to be Sims? Do you want it to be
I
Boykin
think
out there
Stems is
too?
more in line with what Calvin Austin will bring to the table in terms of the speed part. That's why I think of him. Whereas, like, when I think of Miles, I'm like, you got Chase, you got George. You know?
Yeah, and I mentioned that. I like that
Mhm.
dynamic. If one of them go down, at least I
Yeah.
think he can come in and play outside.
Well, he
in a
showed that
similar
yesterday in a
fashion.
sense. Yeah, he showed it.
Right. Yeah, I think this is just a tough call. It's a no-win scenario, but also it is a win scenario because we just have so many damn good receivers.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see some of these guys that are on the bottom of the depth chart go because they've been playing
Yeah.
pretty good this preseason. They're going to go somewhere else and light it up. But good for them.
Yeah. All right.
Potentially, at least.
And then I guess the final one I had, because this is another one they threw on me as well.
Okay.
Since Mason is the clear number 3 guy in this situation, what you doing with him? You keeping him? Or
Yeah,
moving
unless you're
him?
getting a 4th-round pick.
Okay. 4th round, that's like the limit for you?
I think so. If it's 5th rounder, I'd almost rather just keep Mason on the team. You could talk about the injury concerns of like, hey, we don't want to flash back to 2019. That's one reason. But the also the other reason, I just think he'd be a good asset to have in the quarterback room.
Okay.
Running ideas off of I don't know how he's going to react to all this, but he's been a class act up to this point.
No,
so
he
I don't
has.
see why he wouldn't just stay that way. Yeah. Is he going to give the cold shoulder to Trubisky or Pickett if they're asking him for out?
I'm not gonna lie, man. It's
because he was the one that just was shitting on Ben, saying like that Ben never did that. So I don't think he would turn to be that guy, right?
No, I agree. I do agree with you on that. I'm just like torn with his handling of it because I think
he needs to be more aggressive.
Well, the two dudes I think of, I look at Mason, I look at how Baker Mayfield handled his situation. Right now, granted, we know that one was the top pick, but in terms of him leaving Cleveland, like he wasn't viewed as like a perfect all-world guaranteed shoe-in guy. But he did voice his displeasure. He was very adamant. He was hard in his stance, and now it has him being starting week 1. Now we know that Darnold got hurt, but even when Darnold didn't get hurt, he still was the guy. Absolutely. But he had a legitimate opportunity to win the starting spot. Since Mason has been on this roster, he's never walked into an offseason where he was on paper QB1. 7 the first couple years, Trubisky this offseason, then you draft Kenny Pickett as well. So it's like, I love him as a teammate, but the selfish professional part is like, now you're in a position where you might sit all year and not take a rep, and a year from now, we're like, okay, is the team really going to try to invest in you? Is the team really going to try to believe in you?
Yeah,
that season doesn't work out. Now you're on the rocks.
28 at
Absolutely.
That point, huh?
Whereas at least like with the Baker, it's like he's going to get a chance this season to rewrite that narrative. For Mason, it's like, man, you sit this whole year and then next year you have a bad camp. You could be done. Like, you could be Landry Jones. Think about Landry.
You're not talking even having a bad camp with us because I just highly doubt he's back with us at all.
I'm just saying like having a bad camp elsewhere somewhere because I don't think you would bring him back here, especially if you're not going to play him.
No.
And if you're Mason, why would you want to come back if they're not going to play you? But that's my only, like, when I think of Mason specifically and how he's handled it, I love what he's done for the team. Love that. But just the professional, this is your career as well. That's the other part where it's just like, man, sometimes I just wonder, like, would he, if he could do it differently, would he?
Maybe there's some talks going on behind the scenes, too.
Yeah. No, very true. Because I think of, who was James Washington last year? Similar concept, right? We knew early on it was kind of rumored that he was upset, wanted to get out. Then he kind of was quiet about it, didn't say anything. Never really had that opportunity, though. And then we talked about, in terms of free agency, he really didn't sign for a substantial amount of money NFL-wise. It was just like, man, you're leaving that out there, but that's a part of it. It's the gift and the curse with it. So I get it, but I'm always just like back and forth with that because the team dynamic is real, but at this level, the individual player being the CEO of their own body, like that's what you gotta realize. Like, we're all our own little entities here with our bodies as it pertains to football athletes. So it's like, man, you gotta think about that as well. And I just wonder for Mason, if he could redo it, would he do it the same or not?
Well, and I wouldn't even blame him if he came out formally or went through his agent or something and requested a trade. I don't think anyone would blame him.
Because he's done everything you're supposed to do.
Yeah, this is like a breaking point season in his career. Because like I said, next offseason, what is he going to be, 27, 28? You're how many years removed from when you got drafted? So that whole, like, you're the shiny new car is kind of wearing off. Yeah. And the only time we've really seen you in extended time was 2019, and that wasn't that pretty.
Absolutely.
Now, you do have some games since then where it's like, all right, Browns game, the Jets game, there was some good stuff there. Lions game, I think there was more left to be desired.
Yeah.
But really, if you just stay on the Steelers, you're not going to get any reps, as you said, so there's not going to be any new tape.
And regardless of if Mitch thinks it up, do you really think they're going to put Mason in over Kenny?
No, Mason and Kenny.
No.
And if you're putting Kenny in, you're not looking back.
Absolutely. Like, so when if you're talking about Rudolph, I'm just like, I don't see how you have a line here in Pittsburgh for you to advance your NFL career.
Yeah, it'd just be so much better for him somewhere else, even if it is, and I assume it would be at this stage in the game, to be a backup.
Yeah.
Just be a backup somewhere.
At least get in a system somewhere you're going to get a legit opportunity. If somebody goes down or plays bad, you're at least the first guy up. Right now, it's not even guaranteed that you're getting that opportunity yet, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Try to go somewhere first that has maybe a questionable quarterback scenario, like the Texans, Seahawks, whoever. Well, I guess if he goes to Seahawks, he might be the third guy.
Well,
Lions.
Because Locke was just COVID. It wasn't.
Dude, he would be guaranteed the QB2 with the Lions. Those guys were trash.
Oh yeah, what was it? Boy, who was it? I forgot the other dude that came in after him.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's the backup in Jacksonville?
I don't know. Yeah, we just played them too. I have no clue.
Oh, it was Beathard. That's right. Excuse me.
Okay, it was Luton, but then then they had Perry in.
Yeah, then EJ was at the end. Yeah. So I'm trying to think, man.
He would be the backup there. He could be a really solid backup for like 20 plus teams. And if he started the offseason on some other teams, he may have been in some type of actual starting QB competition with like a Davis Mills or a Goff potentially. Depending on how the coaches view it, though. Because, like, I don't know. I could see, like, with the Lions, them just sticking with Goff, or even the Texans sticking with Mills just because it wouldn't even be a real QB.
Hey, hold on. I got to laugh at this. They said, my man John Doe, he says, Mason is doing his best. Hold me back while he's in front of the security act. You know, you seen them people say, oh, man, I'm trying. It's like, yo, at the end of the day, he says that he's going to be a career backup anywhere he goes. Anything, that's the sentiment with them. It's like, dang, man. But I do like that imagery of just like, come on, Mason. Mason, you really want... Oh, Deke, hold me back, Deke. Deke, I want my release. Deke, hold me back. Deke, hold me back. Boy, you better not release me now. Like, I get it, man. I get it.
He secretly doesn't want to be released.
Boy, if you release me, you watch what I do. Hey, Deke, hold me, Deke. You better watch me. Watch me. Nah, I'm with it, man.
Yeah, I wish him luck in whatever he decides to do.
Yeah, man. We shall see.
Because we've obviously moved on. It's Trubisky and Pickett.
It is very clear. Yesterday was very evident. If there was any debate.
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah,
it was sad.
It was
you almost
clear.
feel bad for Mason.
You feel bad?
In a way, just because I know there's probably people basking at him getting like.
I would agree, yeah.
And it's 7 minutes left. It's just absolutely garbage time. Last preseason game.
And you could feel like all the air out the stadium too.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, the game's over, guys. Mason's in. It's like, dang, it's rough.
Yeah. Best of luck, whatever he does.
Not without a doubt, man. So, with that being said, man, we got some time. Hit these phone lines, and after that, man, get up out of here.
That works for me. What's the theme? Major takeaways from the game?
Absolutely, man.
That works.
Got to go major takeaways, right?
Yeah.
I like how you said, what's the theme? Yeah, major takeaways for the game. Absolutely, man. Should open up the phone line and say, hey, man, who should be QB1? Who should start week 1?
I feel like that's just going to come up naturally, though.
It's going to come up naturally.
You
for a fact, it's going to come up naturally, man.
Quarterbacks, I'd say Devin Bush are coming up.
Definitely those two.
Are we ready?
Yeah. O-line, too. You know O-line's coming up as well, man. Alrighty. Let me get my headphones in. Hey, now. Digits to dial off 412-346-6955. Make sure you hit me on the hip, baby. Let's go. Excuse me, I had to burp, bro.
I had a dude yesterday talking to me about how we messed up on letting Dobbs go and Donald Copeland.
Hey, bro, you getting feedback on your end?
I am.
All right, yeah. Turn a little bit. Let me see something.
Good now?
Should be.
Yeah.
See you back? Are we good?
Yeah, it's on.
All right.
Yeah, it's on. I mean, I'm not hearing anything.
Hello. Talk to me. Who you on the hotline with, baby?
You know what? Michael, Patrick, McCracken.
Hey, there he is. You can hear him good and everything?
What's good, bro?
There it is. So talk to me, man. How you feeling over there, man? Out there in on was it New Mexico, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Albuquerque.
Let's get it, man. So yeah, man, what was your instant takeaways though from yesterday's performance, man, with this team?
Yeah, I kind of agree with most of the stuff you guys say generally, but I agree with like Devin Bush, like I said in my comment, that I think he played better because they put him in better positions. But I'm still just like you. I'm kind of off the Bush bandwagon where I don't care what happens really. If he's there, it's fine. If he's not, it's fine. I watched Mark Robinson pretty closely, and he was still flying around. He didn't make a ton of plays, but he was flying around pretty well. So it was kind of fun to watch. And after your Master Moats breakdown, I was really paying attention to him a lot. So it was fun to watch because he does fly around.
He does. He plays with reckless abandonment. I love watching him on tape right now, man.
Yeah, and I was pretty I pretty much broke down. I did break it down, but I was watching a lot of the offensive line stuff. They did hold their ground better. And I was watching Ramon Foster when he was with Deke.
Yeah,
today,
absolutely. Moan.
And and Moan was saying that like they were getting a good like first step off. They were doing better, like with driving people. And I noticed that too. Like they were getting some get off. They were getting some push. Where the game before they were getting blown off the line. It was really hard to watch. So Yeah, they struggled at time with the whole thing and the penalties and putting themselves in bad position, but they did look better.
Yeah.
So there is some hope in that. And I thought last year when we were watching preseason, I kind of had hope for the Lions. They didn't look so bad in the preseason. Like, oh, they look pretty
did
good.
not.
They
You're
could be
right.
good. And then they were terrible. So the fact that they look terrible, I'm kind of hoping that they look terrible, but they're going to be good.
Okay. I like the reverse psychology right
for
there.
That, man. Hey, and I want to say, just make a quick comment about what I was saying about the quarterbacks. I agree that it's a bad problem. It's a good problem. We don't worry. And I think it was a great analogy about Jimmy G in San Fran that you made. But, yeah, I think that is kind of the problem. If Mitch goes on, I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl, but what if they do? What if they go and they do really well? Then it's like, now you got Kenny Pickett sitting again, because you're not going to just trade away Mitch after that.
I mean,
Maybe
we would
you
hope not, but you don't know.
But
I mean,
it's like,
San
it's a
Fran,
tough position, man.
San Fran was acting kind of weird lately.
I know, but if they're close, like we always saying, like Tomlin says,
when
it's
close, he
you
goes
go
with
with
the
lower
guy.
paid guy, right?
Absolutely.
And then if you think Kenny Pickett's the future, and if they're that close, then you would go KP. But maybe they're not that close. Maybe they're just and you do see the youngness of KP when he's out there, because sometimes Mitch does look a little bit more mature in his decision making. But I mean, that's not banging on KP. It's just like I think he does like look at one guy, kind of throws it. He'll go through his progressions, but a lot of times he is just different. But he has amazing accuracy. I like Kenny Pickett. I'm rooting for Kenny Pickett to start.
Well, I just like his touch on that ball as well, man. You saw that yesterday on display, man. The different ways, whether he's rifling it, putting air under it. Yeah, I definitely like that, man. You can see it on display, 100%.
Well, thanks,
all right,
bro.
fellas, I appreciate the job you do, man. Thank you very much.
No, we
Have
appreciate
a great day.
Hey, salute you, baby, always. Shout out to the homie Michael Patrick McCracken. All right, let me open the phone line back up. You saw everything, like all the calls are coming in like once. It's craziness. But the phone lines are open, 412-346-6955.
We got Team Enriquez.
What Team Enriquez talking? I don't know why we about to read this. You
Sam
know, in like
Bush,
5
LB4.
seconds, it's LB4. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But I wanted to say this about Donald Cook.
Hold on,
talking about Dobbs. All right, I'll get to it.
All right, hold on. Talk to me. Who we on the hotline with?
Hey, it's official momentum. How about that?
There he is. There he is. What's the word, baby?
Hey, nothing much, man. I'm going to say this, man. Everybody showed out these 3 preseason games. We got to fix some bugs on the O-line and, here and there. But everybody did fantastic. And, I hope we get the right projection.
I think everyone can agree with you on that one.
Nah, 100%. Now, how you feeling, though, about, it being Mitch potentially going into week 1? Are you on the same train like everybody else, or are you on it needs to be Kenny?
Hey, I like my man Kenny, but you know what I mean? Like Mitch got the veteran resume, and he looked just as comfortable as anybody for real. Like he could, if we got to go up against a challenge in the Super Bowl with any of the NFC teams, he could play against Aaron Rodgers. He could play against Tom Brady.
Okay.
I got full faith in Mitch.
Well, Mitch is a 30-10 guy. One of the people on this podcast has definitely said that and was adamant, and I support it. Yeah.
I've been saying that.
Yeah. Mitch, Mason.
I think
we're going to be fine.
We're
going to be fine.
Kenny Kenny looks like he could be a veteran right now. Like, you could put him in any system if you wanted to. But he's more, like I said, just in case if Mitch has, a few hiccups on offense, script sack or something, I don't want to wish nothing on that. Something crazy happened. But I feel comfortable Mitch can lead us definitely to the Super Bowl,
Let's go.
But, I think Pickett can help in some way, shape, or form.
I like it. Now, which story you got, though? That's the real question, because you always tell us you got a story. I need to hear a good one.
All right, man.
Give me a good one. Come on, give me a good one. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Here's the story.
And Deke is going to judge the story now. Deke is going to judge your story, so you better be A-game with it.
Hey, this is phenomenal. Deke's going to love this.
Okay.
So this is back in the day, 2010, 2011. Me, my brother, Michael Myers, my twin, y'all need to meet, and my boy Kenny. He's living in Atlanta. He's going back to Florida. We worked out, we're working out the YMCA. Whenever we're done, we do our little cardio, just, shoot some hoops. And it was crazy because I guess they Franco, Jerome Bettis were down there. You know, I guess they were just kind of visiting the Y, and they made a donation, I think. And these guys came up to us because they liked how we were shooting the ball, and they said, "Hey, you guys want to play a little bit of, to play 3-on-2?" I said, "That's not going to be fair."
Uh-oh.
So it was me and my boy Kenny versus, Jerome and Franco, okay? Of course, we lost. I'm guarding the bus. He's, big dude.
Backing you down.
We're going like.
I thought you had some height on you, official. You're not taller than Bussy. Bussy ain't that tall.
Hey, Bus can ball. Franco got a mean 3-pointer. I'm not gonna lie. So we split the first couple games. They won the first one. We won the second one.
Okay.
Then it was me and my brother Michael versus them, and we beat them 2-1. So, 11-all, and they were just impressive of our athletic ability. They said, good game. Jerome was like, you don't have to beat up on us old timers, man. We're just lucky we're able to walk.
I like it.
But it was a fun experience.
And y'all got a dub out of that thing, so that makes it even better. Deke, how you rate the story? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
That's up there. I'd probably put it up there with the Kiesel one. Maybe tied for first.
Okay, shout out there. I like it, baby.
Hey, I got some more, man. Like, I got the AB story. I still got it, from a while back. But
okay.
I'm waiting on pins and needles for that one.
No doubt. We're going to spin the block another time, baby, how we always do. But we always appreciate your support, man, just so you know that again. But nah, man, definitely appreciate you. And we'll hit you up next time, all right, baby?
Hey. Yes, sir. Hey, Deke, make sure you're down there at Rivers, man. I'm gonna keep on spot for you and Moats.
It is.
You guys ain't there.
I appreciate it, bro.
You guys a problem.
All right,
y'all have a good night.
You
too.
Peace. Let's go. Shout out to Official Momentum. We got time for, we get one more in here, right? Yeah. 6:32, and I ain't going to run over too late,
That works for me. Yeah.
I like that one, though, man. They was getting buckets on him.
That was a good one.
That was good. It was good.
That was a good one.
Hello. Who we on the hotline with today, baby?
Yo, it's Kyle Manier.
Well, what it do? What it do, Kyle? Absolutely. How we living over there, man?
What up?
Man, what's the word? So talk to me, man. How did you feel about that, performance yesterday as a whole? We liking where we're at going into the regular season?
I love where we're at. And first of all, I'm glad that you guys got Official Momentum on. We needed them stories bad.
Facts.
We need a story every single episode.
Well, the thing I wanted to say, I forgot to. Official Momentum, we needed a health update too, because he was talking about
he
some
went
stuff
to the doc on like the 24th, right?
So drop it in the comments,
right.
Official Momentum. We hope you're doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call on that, Deke.
All right, go ahead there, bro.
I mean, I think we got to trade Mason. That's where I'm at.
Ooh.
What's the deal?
It's got to go to Detroit.
Okay.
What do you need to feel good about? Package Devin Bush.
Sitting on both. Who we getting back?
I don't know. I'd like to get like a third round pick.
See, you'll just get him out of here.
Like a fourth pick.
Yeah, what do you feel good about?
I'll take anything at this point.
Oh, so like even a 7th round pick.
Really
You're saying addition from the subtraction.
Yeah, I'd like to get a draft pick for him. Just anything at this point, honestly. But I'm feeling really good about Mitch and Kenny, though. That's the thing. Like, we got Mitch and Kenny. We don't need Mason anymore. That's my thing. We got the two guys.
Now, how do you feel about those two guys going into week 1, though, when we're talking about that Kenny and Mitch Trubisky dynamic?
So, like, Kenny can go in at any point. Like, we know this, but Mitch can be a great quarterback for us. And I think that he'd be really good, like, going the whole season. Like, if he gets hurt, throw Kenny in there. It'll be dramatic, but I think Mitch is going to be good. I think he could seriously lead us to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'm with him.
I like it. I'm a supporter.
I'm feeling good.
Let's get it. Now, man, we definitely appreciate that. And like I said, man, good to actually hear from you, Kyle. Man, we appreciate you because you're always tuning in, man. You're always one of the big supporters, so we definitely appreciate you as well, man.
And I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
No doubt, baby. Appreciate you again.
Thanks, bro.
Let's go. Now, that was a vibe right there, man. Like when we get a chance to, open up them lines a little bit, let the people get some stuff off their chest.
Yeah, we
Solid
had
right
three
there, man.
goats calling in. I mean,
Nah.
Michael Patrick McCracken.
You're right, though,
Fish
bro.
Momentum and Kyle Monier. I mean, that's
yeah.
a star-studded lineup, I
No
think.
question. That was the A-list? Is
yeah.
you call it the A-list?
Yeah, I don't want to say the A-list is like a Mount Rushmore. I think
No, yeah. A-list is like
A-list-
celebrities. Like,
right. It could
yeah.
be a top 10. It could be a top
Absolutely.
11, top
Like-
15, top 20. Just
Yeah, it's just
right. Anyone can make the
name
A-list.
recognition. That's an
Sure.
A-list. Yeah. Not Mount Rushmore. Different conversation. I'm with you.
Because Mount Rushmore is a little
Yeah.
bit more limited.
It's
Who could
kind
be
of
on
like
that?
Steelers legends versus Steelers Mount Rushmore. Steelers, that's just a wide net that cast. You know what I mean? You got
Great way to put it.
You got the Steelers Hall of Honor. It's a wide net that cast. Then you got the
Hall of Famers.
The Hall of Famers. And then at the Hall of Famers, you got the Mount Rushmore. It's levels to that thing,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
All right, this is the last super chat. But I want to get back. Donald Copeland talking about Dobbs. Yeah, because he said
About Dobbs. What?
he was talking about Dobbs, saying the Steelers. Here it is. Yeah, we folded. Dobbs is very talented. Dobbs should have been quarterback one.
He saw that game. I saw it in, huh? Because Dobbs lighting it up out there.
It was funny. I was talking to some guy yesterday at the tailgate, and he was going off about Dobbs too, saying like, "Oh man, we messed up letting him go." We'll be all right with him.
How you feel about that? I was about to say,
we're gonna be
yeah.
fine.
I feel like,
It would be interesting if he actually got some time with the Browns.
well, not just getting time. I think if he plays the way that he showed in that preseason game, we have not seen Dobbs consistently play at that level, at the NFL level. And Dobbs is my dude. Y'all know that, man. I'm a Dobbs stan. Like, I don't care. I'll be biased. But it's like, we haven't seen Dobbs do with what he was doing in that game consistently. Because if he was, he would have never got traded the first go-around. He would have never, been allowed to leave the second go-around. That was a different version. Now, I'm hoping, because of how I care about Dobbs, that is who he can be at this level. But to me, that's very much an outlier performance for him, just based on the body of work that we've seen from him thus far.
All right, Quan Black, last one. Hope y'all got my DM and email about Robinson keeping his head out of the play. We don't need another Shea situation, God forbid. Let Tip Mitch start.
I love how we ended like that. But no, I did see I know you sent one, because he was like early on, right when I posted the Mark Robinson thing. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's something that I've seen. Yeah. You just hope that these dudes, can be more fundamentally sound, but at the same time, and I'm just as guilty as any of them other dudes. Whether we talking Shea, whether we talking Mark, like, you play this game on defense, you're going to be in some of those positions. You try your hardest not to be, but at the same time with football, man, sometimes you just can't help it. And some of this stuff is more luck and fluke as well. So I'm hoping that he will continue to clean that part up. But some of the stuff is like, you can't avoid it, man. And when you think about the way the rules are as well, where we have to do what? Drop our heads, right? If we see what we're hitting and I'm hitting you here where I'm looking at you, I'm in the wrong. So what am I forced to do every single time as a defender? I got to drop. I have to do this. So you're putting yourself in compromising positions by rule of the, NFL, based on what they're going to find you with. So a lot of that plays into that. But I know what you're talking about with Mark, man. I'm hoping that everything, continues to keep working out in a positive manner for him. But that is some of the context, though, with that stuff, though.
Fish Momentum said, hey, thanks, everyone. 2 more sessions of physical therapy. But other than that, my doctor said I look great and walking better.
It is. Let's go. I like
Good to
that.
hear.
I like that, man.
One
That's
more
solid,
super
baby.
chat
That's
came
solid
in
right
too.
there.
Steeler Nation on fire. Mitch going to be the starter week 1. I ain't mad about it. And shout out to Dobbs lighting them up. Hashtag QB1. Hashtag Brazzers.
Bro, what is Deke? Is that your people's?
Brazzers.
Is that your people's, Deke?
No.
You sure, Deke?
No, I'm good.
I didn't know how you pronounce it.
Brazzers?
That's how you pronounce. I ain't know how you pronounce it. What does that stand for, anyways, man? Do you know what that's about?
It's a website.
What type of website is it, Deke?
I think
Are you a frequenter
I think
of
there's
this website?
subscriptions. I think there's subscriptions.
Do
on
you
it.
hold a subscription with said website, Deke?
I do not.
Deke, are you a follower of this website, Deke? I don't judge you. I don't even know what's on this website, by the way, Deke. It seems you got a lot of experience with said website, just the way you're smiling all of a sudden, man. Like, are you familiar with this website? Have you had a chance to check this website out with first-hand experience?
No.
Okay. But you are aware of said website.
Oh, I'm aware of the website. I'm definitely aware of the website.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it then. I like it. Well, yeah, we're going to keep it PG today. We don't want any problems. But yeah. Shout out to Juan Rangel as well. So So with that being said, I think we have everything wrapped up. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of y'all days. Enjoy undefeated preseason coming to an end. And we'll holler at you guys on Wednesday, man. But either way, we appreciate each and every one of y'all. And until next time, baby.
Peace.